McKeon. I think both our roles have been kind of try and play physical as much as possible, as well as play a strong defensive game. It's a game that I think the two of us are comfortable with, and you're not going to see us rushing the puck too often, so it works out pretty good.
Well, for my money, in the last game between these two teams, the best Bruin by far was Joe Thornton.
For my money, too, and we said that during the game. Thornton, at times, was absolutely dominating. Buffalo could not take the puck away from him. And how about that line? Ensign Carter had a good game. Steve Hines had a good game. 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 total points. Certainly the best Boston line on the ice. Sabres must do a better job against Thornton tonight. Lindy Ruff said this morning that tonight you're going to see the forwards come back in the corners down low to help the defense when Thornton's in there.
Well, let's get the coaching slant now. Associate Don Leber. He's with Danny Dare. Danny.
Donnie, a big come from behind victory in Game 3 in the 3rd period, but I'm sure you'd like to have a little more consistency tonight.
Well, yeah, you got to give that team on the other end a little bit of credit. That's the type of road game they like to play. We fell into the trap a little bit by not getting the puck deep and trying to play a little one-on-one and throwing the puck through the middle of the ice. And we have to stay away from that and just try and be, not being fancy, get it down deep and work it hard early.
Good luck, John.
Thank you very much.
One of the concerns the Boston Bruins have so far in these playoffs through 2 series now, they do not have a road goal from Allison, Kristich, or Thornton.
For those who think you have to go to Europe for a luxury car, hold onto your passport. The 99 Park Avenue by Buick. Taste for luxury, a quality crafted motor car. Admire Park Avenue's elegant style. Feel its power. Enjoy the comfort. Now lease all this luxury for $399 per month. 0 money down, 0 security deposit. Total due at signing, just $399. Go to your nearest Buick dealer and just drive it.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? No, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Now is a great time to come home to Rosa's Spring Cleanup Sale right now. We've marked down the best brand names in appliances and electronics so low, you'll really sweep up the savings. Plus, all furniture and bedding is at least 50% off. So, for the biggest selection and lowest prices, come home to Rosa's.
I want to like Rebecca, I really do. But she thinks Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth.
And Rick thinks it's because of the choice hops.
And even if we could get past that, we'd still argue over whose work sells the most sports magazines.
Okay, in-depth analysis of the nickel defense or fishnet bikinis. You decide.
Look, Rebecca, guys buy sports magazines for great sports writing.
Oh, great. So I guess we'll be seeing that Rick Riley sports writing calendar any day now.
Oh, man.
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
It's like nothing you've ever seen. You won't believe your eyes. What dreams may come will have people talking for years to come. It breaks new ground in movie making. It's a masterpiece. Robin Williams, Cuba Gooding Jr., Annabella Sciorra. What dreams may come. You've never seen anything like it.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Buffalo Sabres Hockey on Empire is brought to you in part by your local Jeep dealers. By Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. By your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? Byron Defoe Giroux gets the nod. In goal again for the Boston Bruins, as he has throughout the playoffs in Beantown, hoping to get Boston back into an even-up series in this series. And Dominic Hasek, of course, he hurt his knee a little bit in the game, and became number 3, but he bounced right back. Took yesterday off from practice. 2 referees tonight. Mark Fawcett is one, Don Van Mazenhoven the other, and the same 2 linesmen that worked the last game. Kevin Collins and Brian Murphy, and the standby linesman tonight is Scott Driscoll. As the Bruins and the Sabres get set to battle here at the Marine Midland Arena. Buffalo with a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series, and the next game Sunday afternoon back in Boston. Now it'll be blasted in by Warner, around on the boards, kicked in by Buffalo, jumps up in the air, Pekka races in there, got it in for the quick shot. Oh, made a piece of that one, and it came around on the boards. Sent back to center ice. Allison starting away. He sends it in over the line. Allison going after it again. It's taken off the play in the corner. It's chopped around on the boards. McKee spins it ahead. Can't get it out. Gill keeping it in. Knocked down, and the Sabres get an opportunity now. Pekka failed to get it out. Boston holding it in. Slipped around behind the net. Warner slips it around on the boards. And Sanderson bumping there with Bork, and it ends up back inside Boston territory. Buffalo starts to make some changes. Pekka chasing after his check, swung up ahead, clear to the blue line as Pekka finished his check, kicked in by Grosek. Grosek in front of the net, and Pekka, he couldn't get his shot on. Carter comes up with it in the corner. Carter belted in there by Sanderson. It's cleared around to the boards. Kicked in, Pekka's shot is sent wide of the net as Pekka collides with Gill heavily, and Pekka loses his hat, and then he almost took another run right back at Hal Gill. Up on the wing to Pekka, squeezes it in over the line. Here's Junot turning around. Junot got it in front of the net, and Barnes knocked it toward the net, but the goaltender kicked it away. Back at center ice. Flipped in over the line by Axelson and cleared right back out again. Sabres breaking it up. It's jammed around to the board. Schmelik pokes it ahead. Van Imp takes it back. And off the boards by McLaren to center and spun off into the Buffalo corner. Schmelik charging after it. Takes a hit from Taylor. Axelson keeping it in for Boston. They'll chop at it again. Schmelik running into Taylor again and taken away by Zhitnik. Zhitnik cruising behind the net. Slips it up in the wing. Breakaway pass to Barnes. Barnes watched by McLaren. Here's Barnes over the line. Left into Grosek, and he couldn't pick it up. Boston stepping back again. Set up on the wing and jammed down the ice wide of the Buffalo net. This is icing against Boston, and this in no way resembles the start of game number 3. Thank goodness.
Absolutely not, even though Buffalo did score early in that hockey game on a power play. Boy, Stu Barnes, beautiful pass from Joe Junot, and Barnes put the move on McLaren, was pulled down to the ice. Holsinger followed up on the play and just failed to put the puck in. Stu Barnes had another chance earlier on a nice pass from Junot. Good start by Buffalo, and they banged a few bodies around it. Check our keys for tonight's hockey game. Buffalo must dump the puck into the Boston zone much better than they did in Game 3. The forwards must come back to support the defense in the corners, and the goaltending vital, of course, for both teams.
And Brown kicking at it. It's kicked around on the boards by Patrick through center ice. Woolley has to track it down. Woolley swings it back into the corner again. He took a bump. Patrick swings it up now ahead to Barada. Jumped away from him down the ice, and then back after it. This is icing against Buffalo.
Well, the Boston Bruins have had problems in this year's playoffs, getting off to good starts. They've allowed a goal in the first 5 minutes in 5 of the 9 playoff games that they have participated in. As Lindy Ruff talking this morning, not very pleased with the way his club played over the first 40 minutes of the game the other night. And then they caught fire in the third period. He says, we turned the puck over far too often in the neutral zone, particularly when we went to shoot the puck into the Boston zone. And they want to dump the puck softly to force the Boston defense to go back for it and establish a forecheck. Too many times the Boston defense in Game 3 was picking off those dump-ins.
Puck tipped away to center now for Ward, who will sail it in off the glass. Held in and around to the boards. Warner kicked at it, knocked it up in the air, but the Bruins take it away. Ledyard didn't get it out. With a second effort, it goes to Thornton. Here's Thornton to the Buffalo line and over. Thornton, oh, they almost got wiped down. Played back through center ice. Verona took a run at his check, brought back in over the line. Here's Ward to shove it on, to pull the center on it. Swing the rebound. the wing. Brought into Buffalo territory. Look there, Simpson off the shot. Hasek the save. Cleared in front of the net. Sabres get it out to center to Grosek, who couldn't come up with a pass. Recovered by Borg. Over to Elliott. Elliott flips it ahead. Chasing after it is Schmelik. Schmelik looking at a broken stick behind the Buffalo net. Got it around on the boards. Out to center ice. Sabres start back again. Sanderson busts right through the defense. And Defoe came out and cleared it away. And Sanderson crashed into the Boston goaltender. Back for Schmelik. Schmelik trying to deal it ahead. Does. It went down and in behind the Bruin net. Defoe works it to Bork. Bork's pass deflected off into the corner as he hit Allison with it. Now it's forced to the blue line. Not out. Brought back in again by Buffalo. Pekka swings it to an open wing. Held in by Grosek, who paid the price. Now it's poked around on the boards to Carter. Carter taking a look. Swings it to Allison. Allison being watched by Grosek. Grosek's trying to get to the bench, and he does now. Gill for the Bruins. Gill scooping it high in the air. Shipnick takes it back. Shipnick rifles one right into the Buffalo bench. 4 minutes into this opening period. Joe Martin, oh, brother, keep your head up. Here comes Václav Barada.
Oldies 104. Designing Unlimited, proud sponsor of the Sabres Player of the Game, is Western New York's #1 location for custom design jewelry, custom art, and picture framing. Designing Unlimited can even custom design rings, pendants, or earrings using your diamonds or our wide selection of diamonds. The owners are right in the store to help you with your purchase, and there are no extra costs that get passed on to you. At Designing Unlimited, there are no commission salespeople and no big markup to cover the rent of a mall or plaza. Designing Unlimited, 4734 Transit Road between Clinton and French, where jewelry and art is created, not just sold.
When you talk about Dodge Caravan, you're talking about big numbers, like 7. While 7 may not seem to be a big number, it is when you're talking about 7 people fitting comfortably in one Caravan. And if those 7 people are all thirsty, they'll find up to 10 cup holders to store their favorite beverages. And once those 7 people agree on a CD, the available 10-speaker Infinity sound system will give them all quite an earful. See Caravan at the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Face-off will take place inside the Buffalo blue line with 16:03 remaining in this opening period. We've had 4 shots on goal, 3 by Buffalo, but still looking for our first goal. Primo is on the ice with Rasmussen and Paul Cruz. And it's Bates, Belanger. Well, now we've got a delay here. Defoe is over at the Boston bench getting another goalie stick. And one thing, Defoe's going to have to play better in this series if the Bruins are going to win a few games. For Pat Burns, last game, in Game 3, Defoe fielded a puck on the opening Buffalo goal, shot it right into shin pads and ended up in the net. And then on Warner's goal, it was a horrible rebound that he kicked back to Warner, who then shot it in the empty side.
There's Cruz trying to come up with it. Kristich got it away, can't get anywhere. It's sailed across ice to McLaren, squeezed out by Rasmussen. Buffalo getting it back again with Woolley leaving it there to Patrick. Watched by Bates. Now swings it out to Rasmussen. Didn't get it out. Drilled in wide of the net. Bates after it to hold it in there. Tried to scoop it to Belanger, but in so doing, put it right out of play.
Well, Pat Burns has made a number of changes here tonight on his lines. He has Dmitry Kristich down on the 4th line. He went from 1st to 4th. He's not happy with his play. And he had Jason Allison playing center between Anson Carter and Steve Hines. Last 2 games, no points for Kristich. But before that, the 4 games before, he recorded 6 points. Pat Burns trying to switch things around. Samsonov is back in the lineup tonight. I think that's a big plus. He's a very explosive hockey player. He's on the ice now playing left wing. Kristich is at center.
There's McLaren dumping a long one in. Hasek going to hang on to it, though. He saw Kristich coming.
Well, maybe Pat Burns is taking a page from the book of Lindy Ruff. I talked to Lindy this morning. I said, well, it was awfully difficult trying to track what lines you had on the ice in Game 3. And he said, tell me about it. He was switching lines all over the place. And, of course, trying to get the matchup against Jason Allison. He was certainly successful in that. And Pekka continued to do a great job, but boy, did we see many, many line combinations, and we're seeing it here tonight from Boston.
Face-off is won by Holzinger. McKee rips it ahead. Junot off the boards. Too far for Holzinger. Van Impe pumped it back in the other direction, but the Sabres will carry on with McKee wheeling one in. Defoe traps it behind the net. Now taps it around to the boards. Warner pinching in to hold it in there, and the Bruins break it up and take it away to center ice to Wilson. Wilson to the Buffalo line and over. Fanny got leveled by McKee. Jam back behind the net. Tristich after it. Tristich dropping it off to Samsonov. Here's Samsonov from behind the net. Samsonov gets checked, and the Sabres start out again. Buffalo bringing it back and over the line. Holzinger tried to bust to the net. It's kept in there by Junot. Junot around behind the net. Got away from Van Impe. Tried to leave it to Barnes. And Van Impe comes up with the puck. Van Impe getting it off the glass. Warner keeps it in. Got it in front to Barnes. Back to Holzinger. Shoots one. And all the rebound right in front of the net. And it's swept away. Holzinger. Then he gave it away. And the Bruins Kristich dumps it to center to Samsonov. Samsonov takes the long shot. Hasek kicks that off into the corner. Sabres will squeeze it out to center ice again. Boston recovering inside their own zone. Ledyard around for Bourque. Bourque starting away. Verona started to run at him and then led up. Put back to center ice again. It's jammed in over the line into the corner. Verona going piling in there after Axelson. Bourque got it around the boards. Not out. Shitnik takes the long shot. Kept in there by Ward. Ward turning around. Ward takes his shot. Oh, the save. Oh, and it's fired right across the goal line by Pekka. Up out to center ice. Schmelik gets it back. Hooks it high in the air. Here's Ward walking in the shot. And a great save by Defoe. Cleared out to center ice. Bruins bringing it back again. Trying to bust in over the line. Left it there, and it's broken up, and away goes Ward. Ward coming back with Pekka. In over the line. Ward swings it to Pekka. Intercepted. Taken away by DeMaio. DeMaio is chased after by Verona in the corner. Bruins break it up, but then a dangerous pass they get away with. Now a long shot by Bourque, way wide of the net. Sent around to Brown. Brown will chip it ahead, but not get it out. Carter picked it out of the air to keep it in there. Spun back to the corner. Shipnick feeds it around the board. Not out. Allison holding it in. Hasek lets it slide to the corner. Punched up ahead. Schmelik taking it back. Got it behind the net to Brown. He'll drop it off, and Shipnick's pass to Grosek. Grosek gaining the Boston line. Trying to charge in there after it. Goes in behind the net. Stepped into his check, but the Bruins break it up, and they'll start away with Carter's pass to center ice. Allison leaves it. Ellett spins it in over the line, all the way to the corner. Woolley trying to pull it free in there. Got it to Brown, around on the board. Sabres starting back again. Out to center ice. It's scooped up ahead and fired in. Sanderson got taken out by Cutter. Up around on the boards in Boston territory. Buffalo holding it in as Cruz went tumbling in there. The pass didn't get back to Cruz again. Cruz turning in the corner. Kept in by Buffalo. Now it deflects and comes to the blue line. Woolley holds it in. He deflects it right beside the net. McLaren got it up on the boards, and it just deflects and goes down the ice into Buffalo territory. Icing against Boston almost 8 minutes into the opening period. Still no score.
It's the Jeep Spring event, and great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles are showing up wherever you look. Like a low $359 a month lease rate on the rugged Go Anywhere Grand Cherokee Laredo. Now with more power, more safety, more capability, and more luxury than ever before. The landscape will never be the same during the Jeep Spring event, the event that's getting everyone to sit up and take notice. Check it out at your Jeep dealer.
Erie Community College provides affordable, accessible transfer opportunities with colleges such as UB, Canisius, and Buffalo State.
Hi, I'm UB President Bill Greiner. Each semester, the University of Buffalo welcomes Erie Community College graduates interested in obtaining a bachelor's degree through our joint admissions program.
Erie Community College. Your future begins here.
Register now. Call 851-1ECC.
Early in this hockey game, we've had some huge hits delivered, especially Jay McKee on Landon Wilson. Great check coming in across the line, and the Sabres with some excellent scoring chances. Brian Holzinger tried to beat Defoe upstairs, hit him in the shoulder, and then he lost sight of the puck, but Buffalo could not score. Michael Pekka also had an opportunity, but he was behind the goal line and tried to bank the puck into the net off the goaltender. And Dixon Ward also with a great chance. That was a play I thought should have been whistled. I thought Ward struck it with a high stick as he knocked it down outside the Boston blue line, but it was not called, and great stop by the goaltender.
Allison and Pekka are in the face-off area. McLaren got it in his skates, worked it around on the boards, and it ends up being cleared out to center ice. He stepped into Wilson to prevent him from going any farther, and that, as a result, will set up another racing call against Boston.
And the face-off will be back to the left of Defoe. Ray Bourque, of course, has been a target in this series on the Buffalo forwards, and he's the best defenseman on the Boston Bruins, if not the best defenseman still in the National Hockey League, averaging almost 33 minutes of ice time per game, and that's the most in the Eastern Conference. Bourque is still a great player after 20 years into his 20th season in the NHL. 19 of those 20 years he's been in the NHL playoffs.
How selfish of him to play that much and not allow the other players to play.
Yeah. How selfish. Well, only Wayne Gretzky and Gordie Howe have played in more playoff series than Bourque.
Pekka got it back. Here's Sanderson spinning it across ice, but it goes right to Wilson. Wilson coming with Kristich. Wilson in over the line. Sanderson caught up with him now, and it's spun off the boards back into Boston territory. Buffalo starts to make some changes here, but there is a penalty coming up here, and you may have to help me out, partner. I didn't see it.
Well, I was watching Michael Pekka as he got for the first time on the ice without Jason Allison, and he went to the Buffalo bench, and it's Landon Wilson who's going to the box 2 minutes for high sticking. Lindy Ruff also said this morning he wanted his club to play tough but disciplined, stay out of the penalty box, and Wilson got a stick up on Jeff Sanderson. And the referees are watching. The two of them out there, of course, and they don't miss very much. And Buffalo will operate for the first time on the power play. And the Sabres have been deadly in power play efficiency in the playoffs. The Sabres at home ranked second overall, 23.2%. The Bruins penalty killing on the road ranked 7th overall.
So Shitnik will go back and start to get this initial power play of the night underway. Shitnik gaining center and spins it in off the glass. Osik firing in there. Buffalo holding it in front. Woolley the shot right on. Defoe the save. Buffalo keeping it in again. Back to the point. Dribble back into the corner. Now fired away. Bourque got it off the board. Shitnik keeping it in there. It's pounded down low. Pekka let it go behind the net. Woolley jumps up into the play, trying to work it back. It flipped high in the air and went right to Defoe. And he plays it off the boards, but not out. Woolley keeping it in. Back it comes. Picks the shot right on the rebound. Back and wide of the net. Pekka trying to keep it in there. Knocked down by Gill. It's sent into the corner. Gill gets it back and works it around on the boards. Juneau attempting to keep it in, and he does. Got it to Woolley. Woolley cleared it in front. The shot, and that's blocked at the defense and fired down the ice by Gill, who did the blocking. Less than a minute remaining in the Wilson penalty. Schmeling, as the Sabres make changes, picks it up and starts away. Schmeling to center, launches one around behind the net. Hit to the corner for Barnes. Barnes holding it in, but it's cleared back in the other direction. Patrick moves up to keep it in there. He loses control. Hooked around to the boards again. Back to the point to Verada. Verada clears it across ice. There's Schmeling with a shot right on. Defoe kicks that away, and it's hooked high in the air and down the ice again. Halfway through the first period. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty. Still scoreless. Richard Schmeling coming away to center ice once more. Scoops it over on the wing. Patrick trying to work it in along the boards. Van Imp cleared it out with his glove and starts back to Carter. Carter to the Buffalo line, and it's called back on a glove pass.
Yeah, it was a hand pass, and I don't think the referee ended up making the call in the face-off back in the Boston zone. Let's go downstairs to Danny Gare.
Well, thanks, Jim. I'm down here at ice level, which I'm at every game, but at the tempo, the speed, and hitting is much more intense tonight than in Game 3. It reminds me a lot of Game 2 back in Boston. Each team knowing how important this match is here tonight. Also, this jam-packed crowd seems to be much more into it tonight. Up to you guys.
I think the reason they're much more into it is Buffalo is playing much better here in this opening period against Pat Burns, and I'm sure Burns expected the Sabres to come out hard, and it's that old story. If we can weather the first 10 minutes, I'm sure he was telling his players we'll be in good shape. Well, the Bruins have done that.
And they have now killed off the first power play of the game. Warner to center. He'll flip it in over the line. It slithers through to the pole, leaving it there for Van Imp. Bothered by Brown. Can't get it out, but a penalty to Curtis Brown for taking down Van Imp. And Boston gets its first chance with the man advantage.
Well, no question about that penalty. Curtis Brown hooked Van Imp down from behind, and the Bruins now will try for the first time tonight with 9:37 remaining in this opening period. Curtis Brown chasing Van Imp around behind the net, and anytime you stop skating and try to use your stick on someone, you're most likely going to end up in the penalty box, and that's where Curtis Brown is. And Boston sends Jason Allison, Carter on the right wing, and Hines on the left. Boston power play on the road, 11th overall in these playoffs, and Buffalo's penalty killing ranked #1 here in this building during the playoffs, 92.3%.
And our first beach ball of the night is retrieved by none other than the White Knight, Kevin Collins. He got it. He's in charge of bites and beach balls. For the Bruins, trying to get the power play on track. Ledyard will leave it back there to Bourque. Raymond Bourque lugging the mail to center ice to Ledyard. Ledyard drills one into the corner. McKee going after it, forces it around to the boards. Can't get it out. Hasek helps out and slings it off to the side, and it's gunned off the glass by Warner.
What a smart play by Dominic Hasek. Instead of just sweeping it up along the boards, he saw Warner standing there and put it right on Warner's stick. It was an easy play.
Bruins bringing it back again. Brought in over the line. Kristich got it back to the point to Bourque. Across now to Ledyard. Takes the shot. He flicks in front of the net. Cleared back to the boards again and hacked by Holzinger, but he didn't get it out. Carter bumping with McKee. Squeezed around to Warner. He's got lots of time, and he feathers one down the ice.
Another huge play by Warner and Jay McKee as they work together to move the puck out of the zone.
Back come the Bruins. Van Imp swinging one through center, in over the line. Allison leaves it back there to Wilson, into Allison again. He gave it away to Holzinger. Holzinger clears the zone. Less than a minute to go on the penalty. And Bourque gets hammered behind the play by Rasmussen. Now the Bruins bringing it back in over the line again. Kicked in over the line, and that's an offside. Boston.
Well, so far, Buffalo, excellent penalty killing with 44 seconds left in the penalty to Curtis Brown.
We have not seen Joe Thornton since he was hit by Václav Barada. He did go to the dressing room. He didn't look like he was in any difficulty, but we haven't seen him back on the ice since then.
Well, that's the reason Pat Burns has moved Jason Allison up to the other line, or onto Joe Thornton's line, as Allison has been playing with Steve Hines and Anson Carter, and it was Barada who tried to line up Thornton across the Buffalo line, and Joe saw him coming. He went down to the ice, and we're not sure what happened. We'll try to get a report on this.
He didn't get much of it, but I don't know if that was what precipitated his absence or not. Now the Sabres will clear it right back down the ice, courtesy of Zhipnik, with a half minute left in the Brown penalty. Bourque starting away, up to Samsonov. Samsonov to the Buffalo line, spun out as he got over the line. Bruins, however, keeping it in to Wilson. Wilson drops it off. Here's Van Imp into Samsonov, looking for Kristich. Instead, back to Van Imp. Van Imp will give it to Wilson. Wilson is challenged by Schmelik. They battle for the puck. Pekka gets involved as well, and he breaks it up and knocks it down the ice and races after it. Here's Pekka in over the line, trying to bust free the shot. Oh, and he just grazed the outside of the net. Pekka couldn't come up with it again. Buffalo back at full strength. Brown jumps out of the penalty box. Kristich getting it in over the line to Wilson. He left it back there to Samsonov. Samsonov spinning around. Back to the point. Long screen shot just wide of the net. Shoveled back behind the goal. Taken away by Brown. Brown kicks it up ahead. And away goes Pekka. Pekka swinging it across to Rasmussen. Rasmussen jamming it in. Gets knocked down by McLaren. Ends up behind the net. Drilled around to the boards to Kristich. Failed to get it out. Buffalo trying to keep it in. Patrick took a whack at it, but it ends up at center ice to Woolley. Woolley swings a pass ahead. Went behind Barada. Barada chasing after it along with Elliott. They go to the boards together. Elliott trying to kick it free. Primo gets in there. Swung around to the boards. In by Woolley. Woolley shoveled it right beside the net. Barada hacks at it. But the Bruins break it up, and it's cleared up on the wing and out to center. And Taylor got level. Boston coming in, though. There's the shot. That's knocked down and held by Hasek. Lots of action here in the opening period, including action the captain.
Draft beer is an extension of the brewery brought to you, and what I mean by that is beer in its most perfect condition. It's actually beer from a finishing tank at the brewery that is put into a keg. It's then kept refrigerated all the way to your local bar or restaurant. The result is a taste and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer. Draft beer is beer at its best, and there's nothing better than an ice-cold Budweiser Draft.
If this looks like your dream, roomy cab Ford design, a multi-valve V6, power windows and door locks, and a luxurious leather-trimmed interior with an 8-way power driver's seat at no extra charge, here's the reality. The new Chrysler Cirrus LXi with all these luxury features is only $18,495. Loaded. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. Now get 1.9% APR financing or big cash allowance.
Do you think it might be accurate to say? Do you think it might be accurate to say that we've seen more action here in the first 13 minutes of this game than we did in the first period and a half of Game 3? Boy, what a great game and wide open. Buffalo just got caught. They had 4 players caught in the Boston zone. The Bruins broke down 3-on-1. Hashik made a terrific save. Buffalo 10 shots on goal, Boston 4.
Well, the puck broken up the blue line, shoveled away to center ice to Barnes. Barnes in over the line, coming with Hugo. Barnes got it beside the net. Here's Barnes out in front of the shot to pull the save. Down goes Barnes, still battling for the puck, taken away by Elliott. Elliott rolling it ahead to Belanger. He couldn't pick up the pass. That goes down the ice, and Boston will be called here for icing. And Belanger is chewing out the linesman. Brian Murphy.
What a play by Stu Barnes, Joe, moments ago. Breaking in over the line with Joe Juneau. And Stu ended up to the right of the goaltender. I think he was trying to cross up Byron Defoe, hoping that Defoe would think that he was going to pass it in front. And Stu tried to hook it between the legs of the goaltender Defoe. Great stop. And the score remains 0-0 with 6:17 remaining in this opening period. And this is an aggressive, all-out Buffalo Hockey Club up to this point. And yes, they've given up a dangerous rush, a couple of them to Boston, but that's the way they want to play.
Held in by McKee at the point. McKee took a shot. It deflects around behind the net. McLaren got it up on the wing. Carter didn't get it out. It went off him, however, and out of play.
Now there was an example of what Buffalo wants. Jay McKee pinching in from that point position at the blue line. They have been aggressive all series, and that, and I mentioned this in Game 1 of the series, is a major difference between the two Boston defenses. And even though McKee and Rhett Warrener are considered defensive defensemen, they are contributing mightily to the offense because of their good decisions and good pinches at the line. And we just saw Jay McKee come in on the Boston forward, Anson Carter. He had no time to make a play. He ended up deflecting the puck into the Boston bench, and a face-off here inside the Bruin blue line. Horton is back on the ice for Boston.
Here's Bork swinging it around on the boards. Kept in by Schmelik. Trying to dump it in. Got it in. Sanderson, a shot right on. He's after it again. Sanderson in behind the net. Gill broke his stick. Left in the corner. And Grosek with a bad pass knocked it away. And a penalty here to Boston.
Now there's a broken stick and 2 pieces laying on the ice. It's a roughing penalty, though, coming up to the Bruins with 5:47 remaining in this opening period.
I think it's he of the broken stick.
Yeah.
Hal Gill broke his stick on a slash. Did not get called for slashing, but did the roughing after he lost his tool.
Yeah. Well, Hal Gill early in the game was corked by Michael Pekka in the Boston zone, and I don't think he's fully recovered from that. In a sense, I think Pekka threw him off his game, and Todd Gill has gone after a couple of white jerseys tonight unnecessarily, and we just saw it moments ago.
So he's well equipped and well armed again, but he's sitting in the penalty box. And Bork will take his time, and now he'll send it down the ice.
Buffalo. First time on the power play. It was great. They were winning the battles in the Boston zone, and they were getting the puck to the goaltender.
Jitnik gaining center. Clears one in, around on the boards it goes. Brochik pumping with Fort, but holds it in. Brochik fighting for it again. Around behind the net. Tepeka looking in front. Swings it in behind the net. Comes around on the boards. Shipnick trying to move up. Got away from Taylor's kick. And Taylor just leveled it from behind. Buffalo keeping it in. Scoop back into the corner. Shipnick and Taylor collide again. Swung around on the boards, and Axelson wheels it down the ice. And Shipnick is still going at it in behind the play as he flattens Taylor once more. Woolley will drill one in and just miss. Three in the corner. Turn around on the boards. Kristich picks it up and he slips it down the ice again. Minute remaining in the Gill penalty. Hasek scooping it off into the corner with his teammates making changes. Less than 5 to go here in a scoreless first period. Holzinger darts to center ice. Hooked it up on the wing, but that missed everybody. Goes down the ice. That's going to be icing against Buffalo. Don't miss out on the best seats, the best prices, the best of everything. Sabres season tickets on sale right now. To order, or if you'd like more information, 855-4444, extension 82, or in Canada, call this toll-free number 1-888-669-GOAL.
Well, the face-off will be to the left of Dominic Hasek. 12 shots on goal for Buffalo, 4 for the Bruins. Lindy Ruff wanted a good start tonight. Certainly has that. The only thing that Buffalo lacks is the first goal in this game.
That could be worse. So is Boston lacking that.
Right.
So.
But by far, the advantage in play goes to Buffalo here so far in this period.
Shipnick going away to center. He'll tip it in. Holzinger charging after. So is Pellet. Primo got it to the corner. Barnes works it back to Shipnick again. Shipnick to Barnes. Barnes turning, takes his shot. Defoe hangs on to that one. And Primo had his big body camped right in front of the net.
Well, another good example. I mentioned Buffalo winning battles in the Boston zone. Primo racing into the corner to help out. It was Holzinger also who was in there. And Stu Barnes ended up with the puck and put it back to the defense. So a great job by Primo and Holzinger. And Stu Barnes ended up with a shot from just inside the circle. Primo standing not in front of the goaltender. He should have been over a step or more, and it would have been a much more effective scoring chance for Stu Barnes. As it was, the goaltender Defoe saw the puck all the way. 28 seconds remaining in the Buffalo power play.
Sabres keeping it in. Shipnick took his shot. Defoe knocked that away to the corner. Woolley swings it free. Kept in there by Primo. Back for Woolley again. Woolley trying to spread him out. Works back toward the point now to the top of the circle. Into the corner to Holzinger. A dozen seconds remaining in the penalty. Holzinger turns, top of the circle. Takes a shot, and that's kicked away. Sent around on the boards. Woolley keeping it in. Woolley to the other side. Came out over the line. It's offside.
Well, that was a well set up play by Buffalo. You notice Boston, when you were watching that penalty kill, stayed beautifully in the box position, but then Buffalo sent an extra forward in front of the net, and that's when the shot was taken. And the puck may have glanced off the goalpost to the right of Defoe. It was very difficult to see, but it was Holzinger who let the shot go from the top of the circle. It went through a couple of players, and Defoe, as we review the replay, did not hit the goalpost. It hit a Byron Defoe, and then I think glanced off a skate in front of the net. 2 seconds left in the penalty to Hal Gill as he stands up in the penalty box. And he'll have a short distance to go to join the play because the faceoff is outside the Boston blue line.
And now the Bruins back at full strength. Puck ends up in the corner, swung behind the net. Brown jumps on it quickly. Brown then loses it in the corner. Brown having some difficulty getting back in the play. It's fed out to center ice to Carter. Verada was there to take it away, and Ward overskates the puck. Brown going after it again, wheeling it into Boston territory where Van Imp recovers. Van Imp uses the boards to send it to center ice. Warner takes it back from McKee. McKee looking up on the wing, deflected in all the way to Defoe, and he is going to be forced to hang on to it there. 3:14 to go. Here in the first, this one's still scoreless on Empire.
If you're having debt problems,
We can help. We're Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Buffalo.
I felt my whole world was crashing down. You were very understanding and worked out a payment program with my creditors. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have gone bankrupt.
Our counseling is free and confidential. We're here to help. Call 854-1710.
It's the Jeep Spring event, and great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles are showing up wherever you look. Like a zero-down, $269 a month Cherokee Sport lease with $544 due at signing. And get all this at no extra charge. Or get Jeep Wrangler for under 15 grand. The landscape will never be the same during the Jeep Spring event. The event that's getting everyone to sit up and take notice. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Sabres out shooting the Bruins 15-4 here in this first period. Come up in our first intermission. I'll talk to forward Eric Rasmussen. We'll go back to Empire Studios. Rick and Jim will have their analysis on this. Up to you guys.
3 minutes, 14 seconds remaining. Look at that. We're not sure, though, what the bottom line means. Now, the first line's good. We love Rick and Jim. But then it says go back to Beantown? Not sure. That's got to mean Boston.
That must mean you. You played in
Yes,
Boston, right?
maybe.
I didn't play in Boston.
That's right. My first year in the NHL.
Here's McKee with a shot right on. Defoe knocked it away, and it's picked out of the air and chopped down the ice. McKee back after it along with Carter. They bump in the corner. Still wrestling in there. Pekka came back to take out his check. Jammed around on the boards. Carter came up with it, and then Hasek just pins it against the net and hangs on.
Well, we talked, one of our keys tonight was for the Buffalo forwards to support the defense, the Sabre defense in the zone. And the shoot-in occurred. Michael Pekka skating into the zone. Reviews the play, sees that his defense partner, the defenseman, is outnumbered, goes in to help out. And Buffalo is certainly in much better shape as Pekka is in great position to check Hanson Carter. And Dominic Hasek ends up with the puck. That's something that Buffalo did not do very well in the opening game, or in game 3 of this series, and they're doing it well tonight. Pekka, at least 1 point in 6 of 7 playoff games. He has been just terrific all the way through for Buffalo so far.
Brown gaining center ice to the Boston line. Brown gets knocked down, keeps it in there, got it in front of the net, but it's taken back by the Bruins again. Samsonov hitting the Buffalo line, getting around Schmelik with a nifty move. Then he went down to the ice, and Schmelik got it back and feeds it into the Boston end of the building. Buffalo taking changes behind the play. Gill working it to Van Imp. Van Imp couldn't get it out. Gets another try, and this time does scoop it back down the ice. Hasek's throwing it down for Shitnik. Shitnik cruising around with a pass up ahead to Brochik. Brochik then gave it away to Thornton. Thornton gets checked at the blue line. Brochik getting it back. Brochik coming now in over the line. Brochik with a pass into the corner to Holzinger. Holzinger going behind the net. He's hung up by Van Imp. And it's rolled out to center ice with the Bruins recover again and rattle it in. Taylor trying to catch up with it. Warner takes it away, getting it around to McKee. McKee with a long pass, and Junot couldn't quite flag that one down. Back at center ice, Barnes bumping into Taylor. Axelson carries on. Axelson swings it around into the corner. Warner going after it. He left it there for Holzinger. Holzinger trying to fend off the check of Axelson and work it around to the boards. They all kick at it in the corner. Axelson and Holzinger still going at it. Now taken away by McKee. It deflects off Barnes through center ice. 1:20 remaining in a scoreless first period. Done right in again by the Bruins. Sabres break it up and roll it into Boston territory. No icing this time. This is going to Capu, and Parada tried to line him up. Now Rasmussen takes a run at Bork in the corner. Bork up with it again. And just got rid of it to center ice. Hines flips it in over the line. There's a chance in front of the net. Cleared away backhand. It goes wide. Hasek scrambles to get back in the net again. Less than a minute remaining in the period. Scooped in by Parada. In for Rasmussen. Rasmussen got it around behind the net. Trying to work it to Pekka. Pekka still fighting for the puck. It ends up going to center ice. Schmelik breaks it up. Bruins getting it back to Allison. Allison in over the line. Here's Allison with a shot, and he fired it wide. Bork keeps it in at the point. Bork punching it back into the corner. Shitnik took it away. Oh, and then Pekka was hacked by Bork at center ice, and then Bork got the lumber up on him. And they had a battle going. Kept in there by Buffalo again. Poked into the corner by Verada, and they're going to rule he picked it out of the air with a high stick.
Well, Dominic Hasek, when he's bored, he tends to come out of the net, and he hasn't had much action here in the opening period. There was a Boston break going into the zone, and there came Dominic, rushing out of the goal crease, halfway up to the blue line, and the Bruins could not convert it into a goal. It was Allison, and I think when Hasek came out like that, he distracted Allison. He could not control the puck, and Boston ended up shooting the puck wide and into the corner. Boy, did Joe Thornton ever give Alex Zhipnik a whack in the face, and that went unnoticed by the referee.
Giving it to Zhipnik now. 10 seconds to go in the period. The pass to Ward at center ice. He'll flip it in. Charging after it in the corner. Can't come up with it. Christic got it around to the boards, and Zhipnik payback time as he belts Thornton, and the period comes to an end, and Thornton is grabbed by the referee Collins before he could get any closer to Zhipnik, but Zhipnik then skating back in the direction of Thornton, and now they separate.
Now Buffalo in that opening period, our keys were to dump the puck in better tonight. They certainly accomplished that in the opening 20 minutes. The forwards assisted the defense very well in the Sabres end of the rink. That was their second key in the goaltending. Boston certainly got that in the opening period from Byron Defoe. And our Toyota statistics will show us that Defoe stopped all 16 shots, and Dominic Hasek stopped all 4 shots. Face-offs even at 11 apiece. And the Sabres with 10 scoring chances to Boston's 4.
And certainly the opening period very reminiscent of game number 2, as Danny Gare mentioned, in Boston, in which the Sabres at the end of the period led by only 1-0 after almost completely dominating the Bruins. However, at the end of one period in this hockey game, neither club has been able to come up with a goal. And let's go now to Danny Gare.
Thanks, Rick. Here with forward Eric Rassman. And Eric, 16-4, you outshoot the Bruins. No goals for that, but better forecheck. Have you changed anything tonight?
No, I think we just concentrated on going out and playing like we did last night. I think we knew we had to dump the puck in early, get something started right away, and we succeeded at that.
Another part of your game that has been a big part of this team is your hitting. Your team banging out there again in the first period.
Yeah, you know, I think that with the way the guys are playing right now offensively, you know, that's my job more or less. To go out and stir some stuff up, you know, get a few bangs there and there.
Good luck, Eric.
Thanks, Danny. Rick?
Well, we've reached the end of one period of play here at the Marine Midland Arena in game number 4 of this best-of-7 series, and thus far, neither club has been able to find the back of the net, as these players will contemplate the second period, which will be along in a moment.
The big new Walden Dodge grand opening. No money down used Super Savers start at $129 a month. Escorts, Sables, Saturns, Neons, Tauruses, Tempos, Corsicas, or Achievas, only $129 a month at Walden Dodge across from Galleria Mall.
Where's Jason? He's going out on his own.
He can't do that. He hasn't finished his training.
We can't let them think we're too small. Let's go. You've got the knowledge. You've got the internet. Just show them what you know, and you can compete with the big boys. We know that. Now that looks professional.
It has to. This document represents us.
Wait.
Jason, they're doing fine. They have Xerox digital copiers and printers.
I really did think that Xerox only worked with big businesses.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company. Xerox.
You gotta love people. All winter long, everyone says it's too cool. And then summer comes, we get a nice stretch of heat, and everyone says it's too hot. People, let's make up our minds. Well, thank goodness for Tim Hortons iced cappuccino. It's the perfect summer treat. That'll beat the heat. It's creamy, smooth, it's deep down cool, and it's just $1.99. Hey, this iced cap cools you down when it's hot, which is good, because you wouldn't want to be hot when it's hot.
Gotta get yourself a dependable Chevy truck right now. Lease a rugged Chevy S10 pickup, now just $163 a month. No money down, no security deposit. Enjoy the comfort and driving security of this well-equipped Chevy Blazer. Now just $299 a month. Get a great deal on a Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Get to your local Chevrolet dealer. Gotta get it now.
Since 1957, nobody has sold more Buicks in Buffalo than Paul Bach. The reason is simple. The Paul Bach deal is the big difference.
Catch the Buffalo Destroyers on Empire Sports Network, your sports source.
This one heating up. Scoreless after one. Brian Blessing, Mike Robitaille in the Empire Studios. That's more like it. That's the way to start.
Would you say that's playoff hockey? And everyone's into it, too.
Great stuff. Let's go to Danny here down at Marine Midland Arena. Danny, Sabres dominated the first period. Shots on goal, 16-4. Doesn't mean anything. It's still scoreless. You have to keep it up in the second.
Well, they do, but they have to feel good about the way they dominated that period. They have to continue to use their speed. We talked about that, getting it in deep, getting it on their defense and turning it over into chances. And I think this is something that Defoe has made some key saves, but the puck's just been bouncing away from the Sabres' sticks. They've had good opportunities to put it past them.
You know, I really had defenseman Don Sweeney in high regard of the Boston Bruins for years. He's kind of been the unsung hero. Bork gets most of the praise. He goes about his business. Very quick, Danny.
Yeah.
To move the puck out. That really, really helps Buffalo's forechecking game, I would think.
Well, they miss him. As you mentioned, he's very agile. He's a great skater, forwards and backwards. And one of the things about him, he's not a big guy, so he can turn the puck real quick and get it up the ice to some of these quicker Boston forwards. But Ledger's come in. I think he's done a good job. He's a veteran player, and he'll hit people too, Grant Ledyard.
All right, Dan, we'll see you after the second period. The youngsters really throwing their weight around, in particular McKee, Rasmussen, and Verrata. Great stuff. Playoff hockey on the Empire Sports Network. Mike DeGeorge has some great stuff for you right around the corner. Then we're going back to Marine Midland Arena for the second 40 minutes of play.
Imagine TV. Why just settle for the moon when you can also have the stars? The Mercury Sable LS Touring Edition with a 5-star crash test rating, plus boat financing less than 1% and $500 cash back. This Sable has moonroof, leather, and ABS with Mercury Value Packaging. That's over $2,200 in no-charge extras, yet it's over $5,000 less than Camry XLE. So why settle for ordinary when you can drive extraordinary? Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
I love my new Toro personal pace self-propel mower so much, I'm letting my neighbors try it.
Wow, so simple to control. This is unbelievable.
He loves it.
It moves at whatever speed I'm walking, and it's easy backing up, too.
She's hooked.
No speeds to adjust. I want one.
I think they're impressed.
The revolutionary Toro personal pace self-propel mower. It's a whole new way to mow.
Things sure have changed around here since Tom switched his gas station over to Gulf. Old Ed used to drive to the next town over just to get that good Gulf gasoline he grew up with. Ruth Ann says money experts recommend the Gulf MasterCard over most other credit cards. So now folks just fly right in, pay at the pump, and earn free gas. We still offer that good old-fashioned service. Gulf just made buying gasoline faster for people who don't have as much time on their hands.
Whoa!
Lawn weeds, huh, Pete?
Yeah.
Try Ortho Weed Be Gone.
Weed be what?
Gone, as in out of here.
Like adios.
Weed Be Gone kills weeds without harming your lawn.
Didn't hurt my lawn.
Ortho guarantees it.
Now that's a great lawn.
Lawn weeds? Leave it to Ortho.
Drop everything and discover an adventure unlike any other.
That was so cool!
Adventure.
Police 2-4, we have subject spotted.
Is huge.
He's gonna try and save him!
Did you see that?
Joe!
Disney's Mighty Joe Young.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Good evening, I'm Mike DeGeorge with an Empire Sports Report update. The largest rookie contract in NFL history. That's what Heisman Trophy running back Ricky Williams receiving from the New Orleans Saints tonight. Williams agreeing to a 7-year deal with the Saints. That includes an $8.8 million signing bonus. And now Williams will have to earn that bonus with the Saints having traded away their entire draft to get him. While the Sabres and Bruins are the only game tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs,
There is action in the Calder Cup playoffs. Rochester Amherst back home needing a win in Game 5 against Hamilton, and at least they're off to a good start. Amherst on the board. First power play goal by Dean Sylvester, his 6th of the postseason, and it's 1-0 Rochester after one. We'll have highlights of this game coming up later on tonight. International League Baseball, Bison's wrapping up their 4-game series in Columbus, and right now the two teams scoreless in the 3rd. Elsewhere, Syracuse way out in front of Indy, 9-1 in the 5th, and Richmond dumping Rochester 3-1. That in the 4th. Hockey Hotline, including live post-game from the arena, comes up right after tonight's game. But for now, back to the arena in the 2nd period. After 20 minutes, it's scoreless.
When friends get together, the work's all done. There's one place to go when the weekend comes.
Right now, come to Ford Country and get this incredible deal on a sporty new 99 Ranger. And then discover for yourself what it really means to play rough.
Ford Country, where the open road runs. Ford Country.
The road to Ford Country starts at your local Ford dealer. So come on in today.
You have meditated for 3 months.
Yes, Master.
And what have you learned?
One thing, Master.
Yes?
Nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
RE/MAX Associates average more experience and more sales than other real estate agents. So why in the world would you ever call anyone else?
You have done well, my son.
Thank you, Master.
RE/MAX helped us find this place, you know.
Cool.
Joseph.
Yes, Papa.
Call on the thistles, the dandelions, and the other weed families. It's time we made peace.
Peace? With the thistles? Papa!
There is an enemy that threatens all weeds. It is the spray, and it is unlike any other.
Well, bribe it then.
This spray does not respond to bribes.
No bribes? What's the world coming to?
Roundup kills weeds others can't. Roundup, no root, no weed, no problem.
For everyone that's ever punched a clock. The dark comedy about what happens when the clock starts punching back. Carol Kane.
Look at this mess. I am going to have to clean it up.
Molly Ringwald.
I can hear someone breathing. Who is this?
Jean Tripleboy.
Let's go to lunch.
Office Killer.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
The Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins have completed one period here at the Marine Midland Arena. So far, nobody's on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I would say that this is a drastically different game than the last one played in this building, at least after the first period, anyway.
Certainly from Buffalo's point of view, it is.
Yeah.
Boston's still trying to play that checking conservative type of game, which they did, but at times the Sabres forecheck was overwhelming on them. As I said, I think one of the keys to tonight's game was how Buffalo dumped the puck into the Boston zone. They're doing it perfectly, or they did it perfectly in that opening period, and that's the reason for the excellent forecheck.
Do you think that there's a little bit of disappointment, though, on behalf of the Buffalo team when they say, gee, we played pretty well, and yet we're not on the scoreboard?
Well, I think so, to some extent, but, you know, players have been in this position before, where you just, you have the better of the play, you're getting the good scoring chances, but you just have to relax. Even though it's the playoffs, just try to keep yourself under control. Keep telling yourself that if you continue to play as well as you have, you're going to score.
And at the start of the game tonight at the Open, we mentioned the great play of Warner and McKee, and they continued that way in number one period.
Boy, were they excellent in that opening period again, particularly in the penalty kill. I know Lindy Ruff said one of the reasons that they wanted Brett Warner here, too, was because of his penalty killing ability. But watch this play here. This is Jay McKee. He's going to come in. We stop it right here and take the man off the puck. That was Anson Carter. Now this is Warner. He's going to go back behind the net. Dixon Ward is heading over to the boards. We stop it again. The perfect pass to Warner. Here's his out, Dixon Ward, and he makes a nice calm play. Buffalo easily ends up shooting it down the ice. Actually, he could have passed it or shot it. And of course, we talked too about forwards supporting the defense in the corner. This is Michael Pekka. This is the Buffalo defense one-on-one. Now watch what happens. Pekka will come in here. He sees a situation that his defenseman is outnumbered. He goes in there, and even though Anson Carter will come up with a puck here, watch what Pekka does. as he checks the puck away from Carter, and Dominic Hasek ends up with the puck on the doorstep. That was a play that Buffalo was not doing consistently in Game 3 here in this building.
So the only thing we have for you on the Discover Card scoring summary, shots. Buffalo handily 4-1 over Boston in that department, and 2-1 for the Sabres in the hits department as well. This is a copyrighted production of Niagara Frontier Hockey. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any other use without the prior express written consent of Niagara Frontier Hockey LP is prohibited. Getting ready for second period action here at the Marine Midland Arena in downtown Buffalo.
The big new Walden Dodge grand opening. Lease a new 99 Dodge Caravan, only $199 a month. Lease a new 99 Dodge Durango, only $329 a month. Buy a new 99 conversion van, only $17,995. Walden Dodge, across from Galleria Mall.
The City Mattress Better Sleep Sale on Restonic Extra Firm mattresses, space-saving bunks, and luxurious adjustable beds.
Hold please, hold please. Hold please, hold please.
Scratchers from the New York Lottery. Lots of games like the new Wheel of Fortune with 10 chances to win up to 50 grand.
Hold please, hold.
You look like you could use... Real touching.
Thanks, Mr. Scratchers.
Hold please, Scratchers.
She's tied up right now.
Saving New York from the ordinary day.
Where's Jason?
He's going out on his own.
He can't do that. He hasn't finished his training.
We can't let them think we're too small.
Let's go.
You've got the knowledge, you've got the internet. Just show them what you know, and you can compete with the big boys.
We know that.
Now that looks professional.
It has to. This document represents us.
Wait.
Jason, they're doing fine.
They have Xerox digital copiers and printers.
I really did think that Xerox only worked with big businesses.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company, Xerox.
This spring for savings and selection, it's value.
Add sparkle to your bath with its premier decorative faucet. Choose the 4-inch dual lever bath in chrome or brass or high-rise kitchen for just $27.
Your water will taste better thanks to this Flowtech Whole House Water Filter Kit on sale now at value for only $19.99. Get this handy sports bottle free with purchase.
And the lowest prices of the spring guaranteed.
Value has everything you need.
Gotta get yourself a dependable Chevy truck right now. Lease a rugged Chevy S10 pickup, now just $163 a month. No money down, no security deposit. Enjoy the comfort and driving security of this well-equipped Chevy Blazer. Now just $299 a month. Get a great deal on a Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Get to your local Chevrolet dealer. Gotta get it now.
Hockey Hotline after tonight's Sabres game on Empire Sports Network, your sports source.
Buffalo Sabres Hockey on Empire is brought to you in part by HSBC, your world of financial services. By the new Dodge. See your friendly Dodge dealer near you. And by Budweiser, who salutes America's responsible drinkers.
Welcome back to the Marine Midland Arena. Game 4 of the series between the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. Sabres coming into tonight with a 2-1 lead, and they tried to put it on ice in the first period, and boy, they had a lot of great scoring chances. Dixon Ward alone had 3 quality shots, and Byron Defoe did a great job of keeping the Boston Bruins in the game. Sabres, total of 16 shots, and the Bruins fired but 4 at Dominic Hasek. I mentioned that if Boston is going to get back in the series, Defoe has to play better. He did not play well in Game 3. I didn't think he, on the winning goal that Buffalo scored in Game 2, Curtis Brown scored it. He did not look good in that goal. And the Bruins need some more offense here. They just didn't get anything going in that opening period.
Ward will try and look after that problem now as he scoops it in over the line. Kept in by the Bruins right in front. She makes the save, and Ward
that's certainly a plus for Boston right off the opening faceoff. The Bruins end up going hard into the Buffalo zone, and Brett Warner grabs his check as he reached for the puck. He missed it and ended up taking Steve Hines, grabbing Steve Hines by the right shoulder. Dominik Hasek sprawled down on the ice. A dangerous play as Hines went flying over top of him. And boy, when those skates come down after you fly over top of somebody, it can do some damage if someone's head or body, part of the body is in the way. Unfortunately for Hasek, he was out of the way when Hines' skates hit the ice. So Boston with a chance to take the lead with a face-off to the right of the Buffalo net.
Bruins holding it in, back to Bork. Bork will drop it off. Gets it back again. Takes his shot. That's knocked down in front of the net. Chipped away. Held in by Bork at the point. Bork spins it back into the corner. Hines takes a look. Hines challenged by Zipnik and knocked down by him. He's still battling the corner. Oh, Pekka belts it down the ice. 20 seconds have gone in the penalty. Opening minute of play, second period, scoreless. Bork getting up to center. Van smacking one in, just around in the boards, deflected back to the point. Bork kept it in there, knocked it around in the boards again. It slides across ice. McKee trying to catch up with it. Into the corner it goes. Allison gets taken out. Here's Hines pulling away from Junot, and Junot steals the puck. Junot starting out now with Pekka. Junot in over the line, took the shot. That's knocked down. Schmeling couldn't pick up the rebound. Bruins starting back. Bork leading it to Allison. Allison gaining the Buffalo line. Throws it across ice. Too far for Carter, and Holzinger comes away. Holzinger hitting center ice into Boston territory. Took his shot. Defoe made the save. Bruins get it out to center again. Samsonov scoops it up on the wing. Tipped back in over the line, but broken up by Buffalo and sent right back out to center ice. 41 seconds to go in the power play for Boston. Taken by Wilson into Buffalo territory. Cleared it in front. Zipnik is there. His backhand will send it down the ice. Sabres making some changes. Almost 2 minutes gone by in the second period. Bruins to bring it away again, but it's broken up by Barnes. Barnes kicks it free. Coming away with Ford. Barnes shoots one. Defoe makes the save. Boston coming back 3-on-2. Kristich hitting the Buffalo line. Kristich got it into Wilson. Never got his shot away. He gets nailed in the corner, but he goes after it again behind the net. Trying to feed it out in front. Broken up by Buffalo and scooted out to center ice. Sabres are back at full strength. Ledyard getting it off the boards. Warner couldn't break it up. Worked out to Wilson at center. Knocked away from him. McKee for Buffalo having some difficulty. Finally catches up with the puck. Now he gets as far as center ice and taps one in. Defoe rings it around to the boards, and it's knocked down and kept in there again by Buffalo. Rasmussen leaving it to Primo. Primo cycles in, took his shot, went around behind the net. Ledyard gets it back. He gave it away in front of the net. Sabres can't keep it in, however. Taken by Samsonov to center ice. He left it there, brought it in over the line. Rasmussen breaks up the play. McLaren going back after it, being watched by Groshek, and Groshek runs McLaren in the corner. Wheeled around to the boards. Patrick keeping it in to Primo. Primo walking in, got it into the corner. Groshek takes it right beside the net. Here's Primo being hauled down. McLaren comes up with a puck. Out for DeMaio. DeMaio to the Buffalo line. Rings one into the corner. Patrick takes it away. Patrick got away from Taylor's check and flung up ahead for Groshek. Groshek working it to center. Primo to Rasmussen. Recovered by Boston's Van Imp. He'll get it ahead. It'll be wheeled right back into the Buffalo corner. Hits it with the net and swing it out to Rasmussen. Van Imp slides it to an open wing. Bruins coming up with it again. Taken back by Woolley. Woolley taps it in over the line with his team making changes. Van Imp now getting it up ahead. It was Bates with a quick shot. Nowhere near the net. Come back to Ellen. Ellen keeping it in there to Bates in the corner. Being watched by Schmelik, and Schmelik takes it away. Schmelik squeezes it across to Rasmussen. Rasmussen to the Boston line. Leaves it to Barnes. His shot! Defoe makes the save. Bruins coming back again. Buffalo changing. Right to the Buffalo blue line. Left there for Bates. Backhand. Hasek makes the save. Schmelik squeezes it on the boards. Kept in by Belanger. He rolled it back to the point. And the Bruins will hold it in again. Squeezed into the corner. Belanger going after it. Shipnick's on him. Christie's trying to help out. Belanger's got the puck. Belanger turning again. Back to the point. It comes to Bork. Bork shovels it back into the corner. Bruins keeping the pressure on in the Buffalo end. Shipnick breaks it up. And then Belanger belts Holzinger, but the Sabres come up with a puck. Right away to center ice. In over the line is Barnes around Gill. Then he drops it back, but it's intercepted by Boston and brought right back by Hines. Hines to the Buffalo line. Warner slowed him down, and now Hines after it again, trying to get it in front. Went around behind the net. Bruins keeping it in. Back to Gill with a shot. That one deflected away. Gill's got it once more, holding it in. His long shot ends up in the corner. And the Sabres will get a chance to get it out now and whip it out and down the ice. Bork just waved at it. It's went by, and they're going to call it icing against Buffalo. 5 minutes gone here in the second period. And the physical play continues here in Buffalo.
The world used to be so big, and now it's gotten smaller.
It's changing every second.
Every day there's something new. Change.
I see it every day.
Change is an antidote to boredom.
The way we do business is totally different from what it was 30 years ago.
I have investments now.
Where the agents have changed.
Change is scary.
Change is exciting.
Kids teach you about change.
You've got a new house, a new mortgage.
One generation makes its mark, then it's up to the next.
Change is good, I hope.
Your world is changing, and to help you make the most of it, so are we. Marine Midland is now HSBC.
And that's how you win.
During Adventure 99, Dodge will give you great financing on a Dodge Ram. Or, if you buy a Dodge Dakota, get your choice of a $1,000 cash allowance, or a great vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Well, the commissioner of the National Hockey League in attendance here tonight, Gary Bettman, and right for this moment anyway, sitting in the, what we were led to believe is the box of Jeremy Jacobs.
That's Jeremy Jacobs who's
yes,
sitting
there.
Yep.
And of course he's splitting his time between the John Rigas box and the Jeremy Jacobs box.
Steve Jacobs, the owner of the Boston Bruins, among a lot of other things. Samsonov can't come up with the puck. It goes to center ice. Schmelik chasing after it. Pekka has to wait for Schmelik to bring it into Boston territory. Schmelik and Bork charging to the corner. Pekka trying to keep it in there. Samsonov broke it up, didn't get it out. Here's Bork keeping it in the shot. Defoe makes the save. Wilson hit by Barada. Got it ahead to Allison, who clears it to an open wing. Gill on it quickly. Gill will feed it high in the air. Barada knocks it down, scoops it right back in again. Wilson threw a punch at Barada. They're back into the corner again. Bruins starting away. Allison to Samsonov. Samsonov in over the line. His shot is blocked, and Barada takes it out. Barada working it out to Ward. Ward to Boston territory. Ward drags it back to Barada. He tried to feed it in. That hit a leg. Kept in there by Shitnick. Shitnick down low. Leaves it to Ward. He took his shot. Defoe kicked that away. Back in the corner. Packard gets tied up. Held up by Shitnick. Shitnick in behind the net. Here's Shitnick curling around out in front. He gets hauled down, and a penalty here to Boston. And Landon Wilson then fires the puck at Shitnick.
Now, great determination by Buffalo in the Boston zone. That line of Pekka, Ward, Barada just continued to press the Boston Bruins. Shipnick, again, we talk about the aggressiveness and the willingness of the Sabre defense to get involved defensively. And we just saw it again as Shipnick moved in from his point position, went around behind the Boston net. And Langdon Wilson just tripped him up in front. A very poor penalty for Boston again to take. And a Buffalo power play here with 13:42 remaining in the second period, and no one has scored a goal in this game as of yet. Sabres send Holzinger, Stu Barnes, and Curtis Brown up front with Woolley and Pekka Woolley and Sanderson on the points. Now, what a game that Stu Barnes is having again tonight for Buffalo. He's played very well in this series, but still hasn't scored a goal.
Maybe if we quit talking about it, he will.
Boy, he had 3 excellent shots in that opening period.
Yeah.
And I think he had one Excellent shot here in the second period that was turned aside. And how would you feel if you were him? I mean, you'd think to yourself every time you shoot the puck, well, it's not going to go in.
Snake bit.
Yeah, and in one game you'll be skating by the front of the net and hit your shin pad and go in the corner, and then it gets easy after that sometimes.
Rolling. Gonna come away now for Buffalo. 6.5 into this second period. Smacked around behind the net. Still scoreless. Bork trying to get it out. Sabres keeping it in with Holzer. Came right in front. Brown, the shot right on. And Barnes took a whack at it. And now the Bruins take a whack at Barnes. And meanwhile, Taylor was going at it in front of the net. Now we've got the battle starting. McLaren getting involved.
Now Buffalo better get out of there. There's a penalty, an extra call coming up here to Boston. And you don't want to do one of the players down there in a white jersey. You don't want to do something stupid and have that nullified. I think Buffalo's going to end up with a two-man advantage here. A cross-checking penalty. And the Bruins, again, undisciplined play, costing them in this game. And it's Kyle McLaren who is going to the boxes. Stu Barnes cruised in front of the net, took a swat at the puck that was loose for a moment, and McLaren didn't like that. He ended up, Axelson cross-checked Barnes, and then McLaren cross-checked him.
Axelson got away with his, and McLaren not with his.
Now, I'll tell you, they'd rather have McLaren in the box than Axelson, although Axelson is an excellent penalty killer, but McLaren is one of the top Boston defense. And Holzinger took a punch in the face also from Belanger. Or Tim Taylor, I beg your pardon. So, 5-on-3. Now, Buffalo ought to get in there, get ready for the face-off. Boston is taking as much time as possible here to give Ray Bork a breather. And they're just fooling around at the bench. The referee finally is going over and says to Pat Burns, come on, let's go. But this is for Bork and Byron Defoe. These few extra seconds, a chance for them to get their breath, and it's a smart move for the Bruins. And Bork is still prolonging it by talking to the referee.
Well, you had Mark Fossette's ear. A minute and 37 seconds left in the first Boston penalty. So Buffalo, the two-man advantage, and still scoreless here in the second period. In by Buffalo, back for Zhitnik. Zhitnik swinging around. He's got Woolley open and gives it to him. Woolley winds up to Zhitnik. Zhitnik hanging on to it, feeds it in, right in front. Pick up hand on it. And around to the boards, and by Zhitnik and down the ice. Hasek comes out to hook it up ahead to center ice. It goes all the way to Verada to Woolley. Woolley swings it in over the line. Junot coming up with the puck. Junot back for Zhitnik again. Zhitnik to Woolley. Woolley trying to set it up. He blasts one. That deflects and ends up going right out of play.
Well, the question is, who did it deflect off of? Verada was standing in front of the net, but I guess it went off of Bruin because the faceoff will be to the right of the goaltender. Verada, of course, trying to get position and did have position in front of the goaltender. Defoe trying to look out around him. And Buffalo, before that chance with Verada screening, Pekka was set up beautifully by Joe Juneau and could not convert the hard pass across the goal mouth.
Still a minute to go in the Wilson penalty. Pekka stays out there on the draw, fighting with Tamayo, getting it back to Zhitnik to Woolley. Woolley, not challenged, walks in, still hanging on to it, works it into Pekka. He threw it right through the goal crease, around to Zhitnik on the other side. Trying to tip it to the corner, but Tamayo intercepts, and he'll flip it down the ice, and Hasek coming out to get it up to Woolley. Back comes Jason Woolley again, hitting the Boston line and over. Woolley halts back there, leaves it to Junot. He'll deal it across ice. Pekka in the corner, back to Zhitnik. Zhitnik winding up, blasting one right on, rebound right in front of the net. And it pops free, but the whistle had already gone.
Verada got knocked down in front of the net, but I think that's Buffalo's best bet. They've tried a couple of goal mouth passes from Juneau to Pekka, and then Pekka tried to give one to Juneau. I think they're far better off to get the puck back to the point, get traffic in front of the goaltender, and shoot the puck. Because you're going to have an outnumbered situation. You put two guys in front of the goaltender, or at least in that area, one for sure in front. And you're going to cause the Bruins some problems. And if you keep trying for those one-timers, and sometimes they work, but often they don't. So 28 seconds left in Boston's first penalty, 52 seconds remaining in their second one, and Bork is holding a meeting down there with Jason Allison. And that's all this is. This is just to stall for time to give Bork a chance to catch his breath.
Well, they break it up and get ready to drop it.
Now Defoe does a smart thing. He says, I have an equipment problem with my pad. And this is something that Boston did not do in Game 2 in Boston, and they should have done. When Buffalo just dominated them in the opening period, they did nothing to try to slow down the momentum. Well, they're doing it here tonight, and they should have done it in Game 2.
28 seconds left in the first Boston penalty, and Clark comes up with it, but they didn't do it right. They'll do it again, and they're going to add some time to the clock. 2 seconds went off the clock.
Well, now are they going to put it up there, or are they going to hold the clock for 1 second? We went through this. Where was it? In Ottawa, I think it was.
I'm not sure that all clocks in every building are capable of adding like 2 seconds.
I wonder. Obviously, theirs wasn't, because it took them about 5 minutes to figure out what they were going to do.
Well, they're having trouble with this one, I can tell you. Van Assenhoven recognized the fact that the clock had started when it should not have. Due to popular demand, the Crossroads Pub will now be open during both intermissions and 2 hours prior to face-off. Crossroads Pub, it's located in the pavilion-level party room, features Buffalo food favorites and a full bar at the Crossroads Pub.
Now, we don't know whether it's 1 second or 2 seconds. Now they're going to...
Well, I think it's 2 seconds. I just finished saying that there was 28 seconds remaining in the...
Why don't you hold the thing for 2 seconds and then start the clock? I mean, why do we have to go through this again? Now they're going to put 2 minutes up on the board, and then they'll have to count it off. Wait till it ticks off, I guess.
Well, that's not going to work, because there's another penalty that has to go up there.
Sure.
Anyway.
That's right. Oh, boy. Well, they never listen to us anyways, Rick.
Well, they listen to me. See, that's the problem. They don't listen to you. They listen to me. You see?
And that's why we're in this delay. Well, we're in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Of course, here in 1999. Let's roll back the clock to 1982-83. The Boston Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres. Ray Bork scoring a goal, and Buffalo, though, coming back in this game as Mike Ramsey with a quick wrist shot to beat the goaltender. And then, coach of today's Buffalo team, Lindy Ruff, scores the winning goal against the Boston Bruins.
And while all that was going on, we solved not one thing, as far as the clock is concerned.
We know how to fix it.
Well, this just kills all momentum in the game, unfortunately.
Oh, sure it does. It's absolutely to the advantage of Boston. The Sabres with 24 shots on Byron Defoe. He stopped them all. And the Bruins just 7 shots on Dominic Hasek. And he stopped them all. And a wild and loud crowd tonight here at the Marine Midland Arena.
Yeah, they're in a celebratory mood, I would say. Be celebrating a lot more if Buffalo could score on this current power play to break the double goose egg as it stands right now.
Well, now we're ready. I see 28 seconds left in the first Boston penalty and 51 left in the second Boston penalty, and a face-off here to the right of Byron Defoe. And Curtis Brown will take the draw. Jason Allison is excellent on faceoffs. Talking to Michael Pekka about that this morning, he said he takes a long sweep both on his forehand and on his backhand.
But he doesn't win this one. Brown kept it in. Over to Zipnik. Shot! He blasted it wide. It came right in front of the net. Buffalo holding it in there again. Swung back to Barnes. Tried to work it to the point. Allison breaks it up. Allison getting it up to Gill. He'll tap one in. Actually knocks it away to Zipnik around behind the net. Allison coming back. Works it across to Zipnik. Zipnik now hitting the Boston line and over. Leaving it to Brown. Brown comes it across ice. Fire! Score! This one belongs to the sign of the sea. Alexei Zipnik deflects the shot in from the point, and the Buffalo Sabres take the lead 1-0.
And how do you like the Buffalo defense does it again? Alex Zipnik, a wonderful play that was set up perfectly by Jason Woolley. Zipnik led the rush up the ice for Buffalo. Remember, Buffalo still with a two-man advantage, gained the blue line, and then just kept heading toward the net. And Jason Woolley spotted him. A perfect pass, and Zipnik redirected it by Byron Defoe, who had no chance, and Buffalo converts. But I guess they're going to call it.
That first penalty had just expired, right. So that wipes out the power play advantage for Buffalo. All even again with a 1-0 Sabre lead. Warner drilling one in. The puck off the glass. It ends up on Bork's stick. Bork got behind the net. Now he sends it up on the wing. Carter coming to center. Carter feeding one in wide of the Buffalo net. And Hasek, sensing that the Bruins were coming, will hang on to it. And Carter and McKee do some shoving in the corner. And the officials get in there quickly.
Oh, brother, now I've seen it all.
What's that?
They gave the ferret a teleprompter.
Teleprompter? Well, I guess he can't memorize his lines, huh?
Memorize his lines. The guy's a door jam. I don't know why they give him so much slack.
Well, it's because he's got a good look.
A good look?
Yeah, look at him. He looks like a little European filmmaker.
I had a good look.
Louis, no lizard has a good look.
What are you talking about?
We're not a good-looking species.
We're not. You have no pride, Frank.
I simply know my limitations.
I am classically chiseled.
I think we both know why we're here. There comes a time in every career when you just gotta hang 'em up. You're not pulling your weight anymore. Look at you. I mean, look at you. I gotta cut you.
Expect more from your credit card. With Discover Platinum, you get a low rate and new double cashback bonus awards. It pays to Discover Platinum.
Get out of here.
Now, perhaps the difference in the defense between these two clubs has been the difference in this series. The Boston defense have scored 1 of 7 goals, and the Buffalo defense 5 of 9 goals. And Zipnik, the most recent defenseman to score, as he gives Buffalo the 1-0 lead on the power play. Woolley, the perfect pass, a slot pass to the front of the net, and the tip by the goaltender Byron Defoe to make it 1-0 Buffalo.
Public enemy number 1 in Boston has scored the first goal of the game. Sanderson trying to get it out, can't do it. Hasek will leave it there for McKee. Tied up by Wilson in the corner. Bruins keeping it in. McKee kicking at it again. Works it around on the boards. Well, Kristich comes up with it. Kristich slipping it back into the corner again. Brown got it around on the boards and deflected out, but play has been called. And let's go down to Danny Gare.
Well, thanks, Rick. I'm with a guy here that needs no introduction to Sabre fans, Donald Adet. And Donald, I know you have a lot of friends down here on the ice and friends up here in the stands, but is it good to be back in Buffalo?
Oh, definitely. You know, I come here, in a place where I call it home for so long. You know, you don't think that you have so many friends, but when you come back in town, everybody call you, and you know, it's been great here.
Let's talk a little about the LA Kings. You had 18 goals in 40 games. They had their coach, Larry Robinson, fired. Any thoughts on who might be your new head coach?
Well, they're thinking about Teddy and the guy in Detroit, Dave Lewis. So, you know, hopefully Teddy gets the job.
Donald, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And, of course, Donald Adet is referring to Ted Nolan, who has As we look at Red Warner in the penalty box on that last play, so the Bruins get the opportunity on the power play to try and tie it up. Boston keeping it in, back to Allison. Allison works it over to Bork. Bork takes the shot. Hashing makes the save. Bork's got it again. Bork punching it back into the corner for Kristich. Kristich drops it off to Samsonov. Samsonov spinning around in the corner to Kristich again. Kristich works it around on the boards. Bruins keeping it in. Allison got it into Kristich. Kristich rolls it back for Allison. Allison holding it in there. A minute and a half to go in the penalty. Bork to Allison. Allison, top of the circle, does not shoot. Now he feeds it in again to Kristich. Now to Samsonov. Back to Allison. Back it comes to Bork. Works it over to Allison. He clears it right beside the net. He flicked it out in front. Allison doesn't shoot, and he cleared it all the way back into his own end. Well, that does two things. It allows Buffalo to make a change, and it takes more time off the clock. Samsonov turning at center ice. He'll come away with a pass that deflects across the blue line. Van Impe then guns it across to Samsonov. That's stolen away. Here's Ward in over the line. Ward curled in front. Oh, it's deflected just wide by Holzinger. What a wide open net. Samsonov starting out. Samsonov to the Buffalo line. Broken up right at the line. Ward's got it there. And he clears it to center ice. Van Impe up there by Patrick. Bruins getting it back. A half minute left in their power play. Spun up ahead to center. Tipped into Buffalo territory and whipped in around behind the net by Axelson. And then Hasek hooks it high in the air to the blue line and out. Axelson gets checked. Racing after it is Holzinger, but it's been called back.
Now Buffalo with a wonderful opportunity shorthanded. Actually, they have been the better club when Boston has had the man advantage tonight. Sabres have had numerous scoring chances when they've been shorthanded. Great, perfect pass from Dixon Ward onto the stick of Holzinger, and he couldn't convert it. And I'm not sure why, because that was perfectly done by Dixon Ward. And Dominic Hasek at the other end reacts as he throws his hands up in the air and says, how could you miss that? And I'm sure Brian's thinking the same thing.
Here's Ledyard slamming one in, around on the boards. Bruins holding it in, still the man advantage for another 8 seconds. Work back to the point to McLaren. His shot skitters off into the corner. Schmelik can't reach it. Axelson gets taken out by McKee. Schmelik coming up with the puck. Failed to get it out. Buffalo back at full strength. Rolled around behind the net. Bruins keeping the pressure on. Axelson right out in front. Kralchik makes the save. And it's jammed into the corner to Schmelik. Beats it in now for McKee. McKee hooked it around on the boards. Did not get it out. Was after it again and ducks a check as he got it around for Warner. Warner away to center. He'll swing one in. That'll be tipped around on the boards. Barnes keeping it in there for Brown. Checked by Bates, but Brown's got it again. Leave it to Sanderson, back to Brown. Brown drops it off. Sanderson holding it in there. Then he finally lost control and it's tapped down the ice. Sanderson racing after it again to Woolley. Woolley will leave it for Patrick. Patrick's pass to center ice to Primo. Primo got it in over the line. Brochik charging after it. He'll go whack at it. Pumps with Van Impe, who goes down. Brochik comes up with the puck. Here's Brochik turning again. Brochik keeping it in. And he finally took his shot, but it's picked off by Elliott. Elliott to center ice, hitting the Buffalo line, getting around. Brochik cut it, cleared in front. Patrick broke it up. Elliott then tips it back into the corner. Swung ahead and out to center. Sanderson, one man back. Sanderson in over the line. Sanderson takes his shot. It's blocked by Van Impe, and that hurts. And there's going to be a penalty here to Boston. Out of the play. Dave Elliott will get the gate. 7:40 to go in the second. 1-0 Buffalo on Empire.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. For country, look at that truck. For country, built for tough. For country, when the work gets done. Ford Country.
The road to Ford Country starts at your local Ford dealer, so come on in today.
The world used to be so big, and now it's gotten smaller.
It's changing every second.
Every day there's something new.
Change.
I see it every day.
Change is an antidote to boredom.
The way we do business is totally different from what it was 30 years ago.
I have investments now.
Where the agents have changed.
Change is scary.
Change is exciting.
Kids teach you about
You've
change.
got a new house, a new mortgage.
One generation makes its mark, then it's up to the next.
Change is good. I hope.
Your world is changing, and to help you make the most of it, so are we. Marine Midland is now HSBC.
And that's how you win.
Buffalo back on the power play as Dave Ellett ended up getting caught on a play in the Buffalo zone, raced back into the Boston zone and hooked down Michael Groshek.
Shitnik keeping it in, swinging it into the corner to Barada. He lost control of it, however, and the Bruins will send it to center. Shitnik has the lone goal in the game for Woolley. Woolley wheeling it across ice. Holzinger finally slapped it around behind the net, but Quark is there, off the boards. Shitnik keeping it in to Ward. Ward pulling away, and then he gets checked, and it goes to center ice. Bruins trying to come back. Ward breaks it up. Ward's got it again. Flips it back through center ice. Taken away by Woolley. Woolley feeding it up to Holzinger. Stepping in over the line. Got it to Barada in front. That's broken up. Back to Woolley. Point. Shitnik. Shot. Wide. Milwaukee. Oh, and covering up on the goal line is Byron Defoe.
Yeah, Byron to the rescue. Another great scoring opportunity by Dixon Ward. He had about 3 in that opening period. And the puck came hard off the backboards or off the glass. It bounced to the front of the net where Dixon Ward was waiting. And Byron Defoe actually had good position on Dixon Ward. And Ward knew that he had to hurry it or shoot it quickly, and Defoe was there to make the save. Great piece of goaltending by Defoe. We talked about the book on him. Buffalo forwards and defense were told never give up on a play when Defoe's in the net until you see the puck cross the goal line. In other words, he's similar to Dominic Hasek. He never quits on a play, is extremely competitive, very agile in the net, and acrobatic also.
Back to Shitnik. Shitnik swings it across. Shot wide of the net. Shitnik goes up to hold it in there again. Finally gets checked, and it's tipped out to center, and racing after it is Kristich. Coming back on the play, however, taking it away is Woolley. Woolley to Groshek. Groshek feathering a pass across ice. Juneau hitting the line, scooping it off into the corner, but that's way offside.
And with a creative player like Joe Juneau, you've got to be careful because he does the unexpected, and he did at that time. Michael Pekka thought Juneau was going to shoot the puck into the Boston zone, and Juneau decided to stick handle a couple of extra times, and that caused the offside. 70 career playoff games, 64 points for Juneau. 54 seconds remaining in the penalty to Dave Ellett. The only score of this hockey game by Zhitnik came while Buffalo had the man advantage.
Swung in over the line now, but it's going to go high and out of play. 6.5 to go here in the second period. 51 seconds remaining in Dave Ellett's penalty.
It's Pekka up front. Zhitnik, Juneau, Groshek, Woolley. And Juneau is Buffalo have 4 players lined up across. I'm sure Pekka going to either put it across to Juneau on a one-timer or try to pull it back to Woolley, and then Woolley will shoot it in the zone.
But the Bruins come up with the puck, and it's tapped down the ice by Bourque. Woolley swinging around behind his net to lead the rush away again. He'll hit center ice up on the wing. Groshek deflects it into the corner. Juneau racing after it. Defoe knocked it away. Bourque got it ahead, and it's chopped out to center. And the Bruins come back again. Kristich getting in over the line. Kristich got it over the line. A shot. And a shot wide of the net. There'll be a penalty here to Zhitnik. As McLaren jumped up into the play, and Juneau and DeMaio are separated, but now Buffalo will be shorthanded.
Boy, Dominic Hasek has made some huge stops in this game, and there's another one as Zhitnik trying to get back on Kyle McLaren. Got back there, and McLaren still got a great scoring chance on Hasek, but could not beat the Buffalo goaltender. And we'll play for a side here for 22 seconds, and then Boston will go on the power play. McLaren is so big and strong that Zhitnik distracted him momentarily. That's where the hook was called, but McLaren still got a quality shot away on Hasek. Dominic with 11 shots tonight, 4 in the first and 7 here in the second. He stopped every one. And Buffalo with 26 shots on Byron Defoe. Alex Zipnik, the only goal of the game on the power play. So Allison will take the faceoff here against Holzinger to the left of Hasek.
So for the moment, each team a man short. 6 minutes to go here in the second period. McKee scoops it around on the boards. Taken by Holzinger, trying to get to center ice, bothered by Allison, and the Bruins will get it back again. Allison elects to coast all the way back behind his net, recognizing that his team is about to come back to full strength, and now it does. And Boston has the man advantage. Allison now slipping it up the middle, accepting a return pass and hitting the Buffalo line. Allison going wide, around behind the net. Allison got it back, and then it's intercepted. And Pekka steers it off the boards and down the ice. Bourque catching up with it. Raymond Bourque starting away. He'll leave it back there to McLaren. McLaren drifting it in. Hasek slowed it down. Junot spins it off into the corner. Warner off the boards. McLaren keeping it in. Now taken away by Junot and spun out to center ice. A minute to go in the Boston power play. Buffalo will make a change or two. Ray Bourque takes another look. Gains center ice, getting it up to Allison on the wing. He clears it in front, and it's deflected away by Brown. Brown trying to get it out of there, but it's rolled back to the point again, and another penalty coming up to Buffalo. Curtis Brown will get the gate.
Now a high-sticking penalty. It's Allison who hit the deck. And now a chance with a two-man advantage for Boston with 41 seconds left in the penalty to Alex Zipnik, and Curtis Brown now it goes for high sticking.
Or low sticking.
It all began, boy, Landon Wilson just corked Curtis Brown with an elbow, and Curtis according to the referee anyway, he's got a stick up on Jason Allison. Now the face-off will be outside the Buffalo blue line. Well, the Sabres will take their sweet time here on this face-off.
Well, they're hardly being challenged by Boston. Boston isn't ready for the draw anyway.
Ray Bourque stays on the ice. Let's check his ice time from the first period. Bourque, well, he only played 11 minutes and 14 seconds.
He's got lots left in the tank yet.
He was. I get tired just saying that.
41 seconds remaining in the Zipnik penalty. Boston, the two-man advantage with an effort to tie it up. It's chipped through center ice, and Van Impe going back after it, giving it to Bourque. Bourque swings it across to Hines. Hines hanging on to it. Back it comes to Bourque. Over on the other side, Bourque gets it back again, does not shoot. Bourque keeping it in, got it into the corner to Allison. Back for Bourque again. Big his shot to Allison. In front of the net. Hasek makes the save and hangs on to it.
Dominic Hasek sharp in the nets again as Boston moved the puck to the front of the net, and not sure, was that Samsonov who let the one-time shot go, and Hasek speared it with the left glove. Samsonov, no, it wasn't Samsonov. Samsonov got knocked down in front. It was Steve Hines who ended up with a quick release, and Hasek made the save. And a faceoff coming up here with 16 seconds left in the Zipnik penalty. Steve Hines scored a power play goal for Boston in Game 3.
A little over 4 minutes remaining in the second period.
Now Dominic, I'm sorry, pardon?
Just one goal in this game, that by Alexei Zipnik.
Dominic Hasek did not practice yesterday, did not take the optional morning skate, which is rather unusual. And Lindy Ruff said, well, Dominic says he's fine, and he knows himself better than I do.
McKee around on the boards, but not out. Van Impe keeping it in, rolls it across to Bourque. Bourque dumps it down low again. Bruins putting on the pressure, clear in front of the net. Hasek hangs on to that one as Samsonov tried to tip it free. No way!
Well, good work, though, too, by Jay McKee in front, along with Stu Barnes, who collapsed back in front of the net. And that gave Dominic an opportunity to hold that loose puck. And Boston moving it around. They're not shooting the puck, though, again, as Allison, I don't know what he was trying to do. Tried to slip it in off the skate of Hasek on the short side. And Hasek fell on the loose puck in the goal crease. And they'll drop the puck to the left of the Buffalo goaltender. Well, it's funny, you know, when you're down on the ice in the 5-on-3, the tendency is you want to keep passing that puck around to make the perfect pass. Instead of doing what you should be doing, getting the puck back to the point, getting people in front and shooting it. And all the teams do it.
In 3 seconds, Shipnick will return. And Buffalo would be one man short. Allison and Brown. Allison winning the draw. Port gets it across ice. Man, it's the shot. He fired it wide. Now the Sabres are one man short. Shipnick trying to work it out of there. Port keeping it in. It's intercepted. Pekka knocks it away to center ice. Van Impe comes up with it. Rips it across to Samsonov. Samsonov trying to bust wide to the corner. Shipnick slowed him down. Around on the other side to Van Impe. He got it in along the boards again. Schmelik knocks it free, and Pekka sends it out to center ice. Less than a minute to go in the Brown penalty. Carter for the Bruins. Looking for room. Finally just feeds one in. Hasek will slip it around on the board. Pekka trying to come up with the puck. Werner's in there as well, or Shipnick, I beg your pardon. They'll jam on the boards again. Shipnick took out his check, and it's gunned down the ice by Barnes. A half a minute remaining in the Brown penalty. Bork wheeling a pass out to head to Hines. He got cut off by McKee, and the Sabres come up with it again. A pass up to center to Ward. Ward to Holzinger. Holzinger picked his shot. Holzinger then trying to let the shot go. Tips it into the corner. McLaren has the puck for Boston. 10 seconds remaining in their power play. Ahead to Kristich. Kristich gaining the Buffalo line, scooping it into Wilson in the corner. McKee stepped into him. Hines going behind the net. Tipped around on the boards by Buffalo, and the pass out to center. The Sabres are back at full strength. And over the line is Ward. Ward in front. Brown couldn't reach it. He was tied up. McKee a shot. That's knocked down. Brown's got it again. Getting it back to McKee. Long shot. He puts right in front of the net. Oh, whack at it. And it's finally covered up by Defoe. 2:25 to go in the second. 1-0 Buffalo.
What happened?
What?
I thought you were demanding to be traded.
Yeah, well, turns out there's only 2 teams in this league, red and blue.
What?
So it's not like I had a whole lot of options, which is why I'm getting me an agent and I'm jumping ship to the NHL.
Murph, you are exactly 3 inches tall.
Maybe so, but I wear big skates. And you know what they say about guys with big skates?
Ah, oui, I am aware, my friend.
You may notice that my lips aren't moving. Not having me actually on stage saves a lot of money, which is being passed along in the form of a dandy Dodge Durango lease rate. Just $365 a month for a handsomely equipped 4x4 Durango, with the best cargo room, passenger room, and power in its class. Dodge Durango. Unlike me, it really moves.
Well, they're loving it here at the Marine Midland Arena. 1-0 the Sabres lead, and I'll talk to that goal scorer coming up in our first intermission, Alexei Zhitnik. We'll go back to the Empire Studios, and Rick and Jim will have their analysis. Up to you guys.
Well, certainly the special teams a difference in this game again. Buffalo, as Danny mentioned, scoring on the power play. Zhitnik and Sabres doing an outstanding job of killing off a Boston power play. The Bruins had a 2-man advantage for what I think 45 seconds it was, and Hasek with a couple of big stops, but overall a fine job again by the penalty killers.
Woolley keeping it in and a whack at it. Rolled in front. Brown got taken down as he tried to get the shot away. Picked up ahead for DeMaio. He'll send it to McLaren at center ice. McLaren ripping one in around on the boards. DeMaio getting there first. DeMaio looking in front of the net. It went right to Axelson. Axelson cleared in front. Hasek knocks it away. And scooped up on the wing for Sanderson. Sanderson to the Boston line. Flipping one in. A bouncer. And Defoe had trouble with that one. So the Bruins sending it out again. Ledyard getting it ahead. 15 over the Buffalo line. Patrick trying to come up with the puck. Can't do it. Boston kept it in. Then Brown steals it back. Brown getting away from Bates by working it to Woolley. Woolley into Bruin territory. Trying to drop it off. Broken up by Bork to the blue line. And out to center. And Boston's Axelson to the Buffalo line. Axelson looking in front of the net. Deflected just wide by Bates. Bates is after it again. comes all the way up on the wing, but not out. Ward holding it in there. Finally, Warner recovers, and Warner hits Anderson right in the back. Holzinger carries on. Holzinger getting it into Boston territory. 1:10 remaining here in the second period. Banked off the glass to center. McKee gets nailed by Belanger, but clears it back into Bruin territory. Ward beating it off the boards. Holzinger kept it in. Holzinger! Never got the shot away. Here it comes and spun wide by Junot. Hill feeds it high in the air and through center. Broken up by McKee, and it's kicked back to the neutral area. Sanderson or Junot can't come up with it. Boston getting it back. 35 seconds to go in the period. Broken up by Junot. He can't get anywhere. Then Wilson brought it in, and that's way offside. Belanger was two steps inside the Buffalo blue line, and Belanger and Warner collided.
You know, partner, we haven't seen Joe Thornton again here in the second period, so he obviously is not on the Boston bench. He sustained some sort of injury, and we would assume that it happened early in the first period when he went down inside the Buffalo blue line after Verrata tried to hit him, and I don't know whether Verrata's skate perhaps caught him in the chest or in the head or in the side of the head. We're not sure. We haven't received a report, but Thornton has not played here in the second. And Allison is out there again for the Bruins.
McLaren swings it ahead, taken away by Zhitnik. Zhitnik spinning it up to the blue line. Sabres got it out as far as center ice. Ward getting it up to Verrata. Verrata shoots one. The first one comes from C. The second one from B. And it's 2-0 Buffalo.
Oh boy, as well as Byron Defoe has played, and he has played great, he's got to make that save. That was an angle shot. Verrata racing down the right wing, having the advantage of being a left-hand shot on the right wing. He has a better angle on which to shoot. But it was all Buffalo, though, moving the puck out of the zone. And Pekka and Dixon Ward chopped at the puck. Verrata with a quick release, a low shot to beat Byron Defoe. And Buffalo has a 2-0 lead, and that could be a killer goal scored in the dying seconds of this period.
Defoe steers it around on the boards as far as center ice. Pekka will hook it ahead, worked across to Ward. Ward walking right in. The shot. Defoe makes the save. Knocked out in front of the period. Comes to an end. Oh, almost another one for Buffalo.
What a marvelous play by Dixon Ward, who has been excellent during these playoffs for Buffalo. And this line, the checking line of Buffalo, continues to be the offensive line. And Ward almost made it 3-0 as he stepped around the Boston defense to the front of the net, and Byron Defoe, superb save to keep the score 2-0 Buffalo. And our Toyota statistics look this way. After 2 periods of play, Buffalo with 30 shots on goal, Boston 14. Sabres winning the faceoffs 25-19. 19 scoring chances for Buffalo and 8 for Boston. And let's go downstairs to Danny Gare.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with Alexei Zhitnik and Alex. I know you're trying to catch your breath here, but a big second period. You got a big goal on the power play. All 3 of yours have come on the power play. Boy, that helps, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, we try to move puck pretty quick and one-touch pass, and so far it's working for us.
When you look at this team, you know, you had an outstanding first period, and then in the second period, was there anything said in that first period that you wanted to do in this second?
No, we try to start best as we can and get pressure on the Boston Bruins defenseman. And we had probably 15, 16 shots in the first period, and we try to keep going in the second.
When you look at Václav Verrata getting a big goal there, now you head into the third. Your thoughts, what you have to do here in the third to win this game?
We don't have to wait, sit back and wait. We have to still forecheck, pressure, defenseman dump the puck in, and just play same as we play first 2 periods.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, no problem.
Rick?
So the Buffalo Sabres managed to move in front of the Boston Bruins by a pair of goals here in game number 4. Václav Barada wears number 25, but the other number is 17. That many seconds left in the period when he scored.
You have meditated for 3 months.
Yes, Master.
And what have you learned?
One thing, Master.
Yes?
Nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax.
Remax Associates average more experience and more sales than other real estate agents. So why in the world would you ever call anyone else?
You have done well, my son.
Thank you, Master.
Remax helped us find this place, you know.
Cool.
This spring, have your home look its best.
You'll get quite a deal on the Emco Forever Door, the last storm door your home will ever need. Choose the Forever Ultra Core for only $139, the Forever Crossbuck for $159, or white traditional style for just $179. Save up to $50.
Everything you need for your spring cleanup.
Value has everything you need. It's the best of Paddock Chevrolet.
Paddock Chevrolet, New York State's largest volume Chevy dealer, continues to keep it simple with 750 new cars and trucks available now. Fantastic rebates as high as $2,000. Interest rates as low as 0%. Paddock Chevrolet has your best deal right now. All prices clearly marked. Enjoy the hassle-free buying experience you deserve at Paddock Chevrolet, 3232 Delaware Avenue in Kenmore.
Cause the best you can get is the best of Paddock Chevrolet.
If you like surprises, you'll like a lot of tire stores. See, they'll quote you a low price to get you in the door. Then you find out about all the extras they forgot to tell you about, like valve stems, mounting, balancing, until, surprise, you're paying up to $20 extra per tire.
Other stores may charge extra for extras. At Dunn Tire, get the low out-the-door price you came in for. The extras are free.
When it comes to tires, I don't like surprises.
At Dunn Tire, get our lowest out-the-door price. No extras ever.
The Sabres in control heading to the third period, 2-0 over the Boston Bruins. Brian Blessing, Mike Robitaille in the Empire Studios. Mike, Buffalo kept on coming, going to the locker room. They've got something to show for it.
This third period of the last game, a continuation. Same style, same amount of hustle. What a difference.
All right, Danny Gear down at Marine Midland Arena. Danny, let's talk about some individuals who have been wonderful in the playoffs, struggling throughout the course of the regular season. Zhitnik in particular. Barada really tailed off in the second half of the year, but these guys have been forces for Buffalo, especially against the Bruins.
Well, they seem to excel in playoff hockey, guys, and I think that's something that these two have shown in the past. Barada last year was a big part of the Sabres going to Eastern Conference Finals against Washington. Great series against Philadelphia, against Montreal, and so did Zhitnik. But, you know, Barada gave Thornton a hit. He scores a big goal in the second period. He hits Thornton, and he's done that 3 or 4 times and with other players. But Barada, I think, put Thornton out of the game. I just talked to their PR director here. He will not be back. He took a hit flush on the face, I think, from Barada's knee.
No passengers tonight for Buffalo. I'd be hard-pressed to find one. This is a team effort. And when they're playing as a team, everyone pulling the same direction, boy, they're awful tough to beat.
And they're excited about playing, and that's something that this team, they knew that they had to go out tonight and take the attack to this hockey club. They did. They came out even after the good first period and not scoring, Mike, and they continue to do it in the second period. But the fans here have got them pumped up. They got themselves pumped up, and they were very focused tonight.
No shells, Danny. Keep going for it.
All right.
All right, we'll see you after the game on Hockey Hotline. Hope to see you then. We'll send you back to Marine Midland Arena following an Empire Sports Report update. Enjoy the third period. Sabres over the Bruins, 2-0, heading to the final period.
The big new Walden Dodge grand opening. Lease a new '99 Dodge Caravan, only $199 a month. Lease a new Dakota pickup, only $179 a month. Lease a new Ram Club Cab 4x4, only $269 a month. Walden Dodge across from Galleria Mall.
Where's Jason?
He's going out on his own.
He can't do that. He hasn't finished his training. We can't let them think we're too small. Let's go. You've got the knowledge. You've got the internet. Just show them what you know, and you can compete with the big boys. We know that. Now that looks professional.
It has to. This document represents us.
Wait. Jason, they're doing fine.
They have Xerox digital copiers and printers.
I really did think that Xerox only worked with big businesses.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company, Xerox.
Nobody predicted when SUVs were created by some crazy Californian who covered his truck that this would become a new kind of car and then would become a luxurious kind of car. The Pathfinder's emerged as a real luxury vehicle. I mean, we've designed in heated seats, a state-of-the-art Bose CD system. These are not items that you would expect from a car that can slog through the mud with the best of them.
Want our best price and the biggest selection on Lincolns, Mercuries, and Toyotas? Culligan is the place.
Catch the Rochester Red Wings on Empire Sports Network, your sports source.
Robin and I are going to Cooperstown together, and nobody's going to care that I got 98% of the vote and you only got 77.
Yeah, just like nobody's going to care I won more MVP awards, George.
We'll be too busy celebrating with Miller Lite, which tastes great because it's so smooth.
Well, I think it tastes great because of the choice hops.
Are you sure about that, Robin?
Yeah, I'm sure.
98% sure, or just 77% sure?
Miller Lite, the great taste of a true Pilsner beer.
That MVP thing's killing you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're scared, Natalie. Yeah, right.
If you haven't heard the legends,
This guy flips out.
if you don't believe the stories,
My mom still checks the back seat before getting into a car.
if you don't trust the tales,
Hello?
then you're the perfect victim. Urban legend.
Hey, that hurt.
This month on DirecTV.
Good evening, I'm Mike DeGeorge with an Empire Sports Report update. While some teams are thinking postseason, some other things are thinking about next season. The Philly Flyers, one of those teams, bounced from the playoffs in the first round for the second straight year. The Flyers getting some good news tonight. Defenseman Eric Desjardins undergoing successful knee surgery to repair a partial tear in his ACL. Calder Cup playoffs, Game 5 in Rochester between the Amherst and Hamilton Bulldogs. Series all tied at 2 after the Dogs taking the last two in Hamilton. Blue Cross Arena, goaltender Marty Biron feeling some heat after the two losses, but Biron bringing his A-game tonight. Then things getting a little bit chippy. Biron will make the first save right here, and when Eric Lacroix goes swiping by, the sticks come up. Lacroix catching Biron with the butt end. Biron would stay in the game. He's okay. Then the Amherst would score first in this one. A power play goal. Dean Sylvester, his 6th of the playoffs right there. And then the second period, the Amherst go up 2-0. Sylvester again, this time shorthanded from Mike Harder. And after 2 periods in Rochester, the Amherst have the 2-0 lead. During Hockey Hotline, we'll have an interview with Commissioner Gary Bettman, who's at the game tonight. But for now, back to the arena in tonight's third period. After 40 minutes, 2-0 Sabres.
Before spring goes full swing, take advantage of special leases on the all-weather confidence of Lincoln Continental with all-speed traction control. The $4.99 a month lease is an attractive way to experience the luxury and power of Continental. The season's coming on, and the place to be is behind the wheel of a new Lincoln. The grand spaciousness of Lincoln Town Car is at your service at $4.99 a month as well. It's the luxury of choice. From Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
If a member has been identified as having a high-risk pregnancy, we have our prenatal case management program to support them. We use home care agencies, registered nurses to go out to our members' homes. They help us identify risk factors and educate the moms.
I'm feeling much better since you told me.
And it also reinforces the physician's plan of care. I've had the experience of having a high-risk pregnancy, so I can identify with these mothers. Healthy moms and healthy babies. That's what it's all about.
Whoa! Lawn weeds, huh, Pete? Yeah. Try Ortho Weed Be Gone.
Weed Be what?
Gone, as in out of here.
Like adios.
Weed Be Gone kills weeds without harming your lawn.
Didn't hurt my lawn.
Ortho guarantees it.
Now that's a great lawn.
Lawn weeds? Leave it to Ortho.
Drop everything and discover an adventure unlike any other.
That was so cool!
Adventure.
Police 2-4, we have subject spotted.
Is huge.
He's gonna try and save him!
Did you see that?
Joe!
Disney's Mighty Joe Young.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Buffalo Sabres have broke out this game and have a 2-0 lead now at the end of 2 periods here at the Marine Midland Arena. And the Sabres obviously got things going in the second period, but now, of course, you know the Bruins are going to come out and try and do something in the third period of play. They're going to have to, obviously. They don't want to go down 3-1.
Well, I hate to say they're going to open it up because if they do that, I mean, they've been playing it open. Buffalo, certainly the more aggressive and the better hockey club in this, but Bruins have to start going for it. They have to start pinching their defense, taking some chances.
As alien as that may be to their philosophy,
right,
they don't have any choice.
And that's directly against what Coach Pat Burns teaches. So it's going to be a very tough battle for them without Joe Thornton. He's not going to return, we're told. He was hurt when Verada hit him back in the opening period, so that's a huge loss for the Bruins.
And, of course, the Sabres coming up with the goals in the second period.
Well, again, the special teams. The power play has been doing it for Buffalo again in this playoff series. And what a play this was by Jason Woolley as he spotted Alex Zhipnik heading to the front of the net. Perfect slap pass, and Zhipnik deflects it by Byron Defoe. Zhipnik very prominent on Buffalo's second goal. What a strong play he made moving out of the Buffalo end of the rink. The Sabres just slapped the puck around a couple of times. Right here, Jason Allison gets caught as he tries to check in the neutral zone. Verada with a quick slap shot to the left of Byron Defoe, and as good as Byron Defoe has played in this game, he should have stopped this. That was a huge goal for Buffalo, of course, giving them the 2-goal lead, and it came in the dying seconds of the second period.
In further dying seconds, he did make a big save, though, on Dixon Ward. It could have been 3-0. So Zhipnik with his third of the playoffs, and Václav Verada comes back and gets his third as well. So we know that the Buffalo Sabres are going to find that the Boston Bruins are going to have to come at them now in the third period.
I thought it was interesting what Alex Zhipnik said to Danny Guerin. Of course, I think we probably say this all the time, and it's worth repeating, though. When you're up like this, you're up 2 goals, you're going into the third period. For the team to remain aggressive, I think that's important. And as Alex said, we want to maintain our forecheck. It has been working great tonight. Buffalo, one of our keys tonight was shooting the puck in properly. Boy, they've done that, and that's what really has triggered their forecheck. And you know, Boston has not been able to handle it.
Well, we'll find out what unfolds in the third period as we thank these youngsters who are providing the signage here at the Marine Midland Arena.
The big new Walden Dodge grand opening. No money down used Super Sabres start at $129 a month. Escorts, Sables, Saturns, Neons, Tauruses, Tempos, Corsicas, or Achievas, only $129 a month at Walden Dodge across from Galleria Mall.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? You don't, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker Stay. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker Stay. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Welcome, Wrestling Legends 4, Diamond Dallas Page. Goldberg just exploded. That's the man. Self high five.
Here comes the man. Here comes Goldberg. Ain't no disqualification now.
Wrestling fans, don't miss Goldberg, DDP, and Sting in a 3-way no DQ match. Plus the Macho Man Randy Savage takes on Ric Flair. Wrestling Legends 4, Friday, June 11th at the arena.
You gotta love people. All winter long, everyone says it's too cold. And then summer comes, we get a nice stretch of heat, and everyone says it's too hot. People, let's make up our minds. Well, thank goodness for Tim Hortons iced cappuccino. It's the perfect summer treat. That'll beat the heat. It's creamy, smooth, it's deep down cool, and it's just $1.99. Hey, this iced cap cools you down when it's hot, which is good, because you wouldn't want to be hot when it's hot.
When friends get together, no work's all done.
There's one place to go when the weekend comes.
Right now, come to Ford Country and get this incredible deal on a sporty new 99 Ranger. And then discover for yourself what it really means to play rough.
Ford Country, where the open road runs. Ford Country.
The road to Ford Country starts at your local Ford dealer, so come on in today.
The City Mattress Better Sleep Sale on Restonic Extra Firm mattresses, space-saving bunks, and luxurious adjustable beds.
Catch the Rochester Raging Rhinos on Empire Sports Network, your sports source.
Buffalo Sabres Hockey on Empire is brought to you in part by Discover Card, a cashback bonus award with every single thing you buy. It pays to discover. By Pepsi, the joy of cola. And by Tops. Tops never stops giving you more.
Now the Buffalo Sabres take a 2-0 lead into the third period here at the Marine Midland Arena. Dominic Hasek, not a whole lot of work tonight, but boy, when he's had to make the saves, he has been there for Buffalo. He had a couple of dandy stops, particularly in that second period. In the first period, the Bruins managed only 4 shots on goal. In the second, Dominic Hasek stopped 10 of 10. And Dixon Ward, what a game he has had. If you were going to pick a number 1 star after 2 periods of hockey, Dixon Ward would be my star. 8 shots on goal tonight. And Dominic Hasek has a modest shutout streak against the Bruins of over 88 minutes.
And right off the get-go here, the puck will deflect and go out of play, and 4 seconds into the third period, they'll do it again. The Bruins are going to leave right after the game tonight to head back home for game number 5, which will be played at the Fleet Center on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. The Sabres will practice in Buffalo tomorrow, then leave for Boston tomorrow afternoon.
You can see Pat Burns, not much going on the bench. Those 2 lines of his that he depends so much on, Allison line and Joe Thornton, and Thornton is not going to play anymore here tonight. He was injured back in the opening period.
Warner spinning it around on the boards. Junot takes a bump, can't get it out, goes after it again. Taylor keeping it in. That's McKee fishing it free, but he kept in by Van Imp. Worked back into the corner again. Bruins holding it in the Buffalo end. Van Imp a shot. That's knocked down. Junot starts away through center. Slipping it across to Holzinger. Holzinger in over the line. Flips one around to Barnes. Barnes trying to tuck it out in front, and it slides to Defoe. Will cover up there. Empire Sports Network presents Power Over the Counter, a 4-part series examining the popularity of dietary supplements among today's athletes. Join Kerry Sayers beginning Monday night at 10:30 and continuing through the week on your source for sports, Empire Sports Network.
Well, face-off coming up here to the right of Byron Defoe. Boy, this line for Buffalo again. Pekka Virata, Dixon Ward. Huge effort again here tonight. Not only defensively, of course, but I think more importantly, offensively. Since Virata scored the second goal of the game, Dixon Ward has 8 shots over 2 periods, and Pekka has played his usual game of quality.
Ward keeping it in to Virata. Virata turning to get away from Allison to Ward. Sending it around behind the net. Pekka trying to hold up his check, but it's kicked free. Belanger starts to center by getting it in over the line. Schmelik came back on his check. That's knocked away, but Bork holds it in. Bork knocks it around the blue line again. Bork keeping it in there. Spinning it down low to Allison. Allison tied up behind the net. Going after it, Belanger in the corner. Belanger swinging around. He's still got the puck. With his shot, Hasek makes the save. Virata drops it off in the corner. Schmelik around to the boards. Deflected away and taken by Zhitnik, who will sail it out to center ice. Virata in over the line. Trying to clear it in front. That one is picked off, and the Bruins clear it back out again. Woolley missing the puck, has to charge back after it as Bates kept an eye on him. Now it's chased off the boards to center ice by McKee. Boston getting it back once more. McLaren to Ledger. He can't get anywhere. Groshek steers it in over the line, broken right back up again, and the Bruins, Kristich trying to get away. He gets checked. Very scrambly at the moment. Warner giving it to McKee. McKee with lots of time. Just dribbles one inside Boston territory. 2 minutes have gone here in the third period. Warner hooking it right back in again. Ledyard going after the puck. Sails it around on the other side. Brochek keeping it in with a shot that goes wide. Ledyard picks it up, can't get it out. And the Bruins must regroup, and the Sabres take advantage of this by making some changes. Well, McLaren kept behind his own net. Leaves it there. Bates drops it back to McLaren. Over to Ledyard. Ledyard wheels one through center. That's taken away by Buffalo. Warner scooting it up on the wing to Barnes. Barnes will slide it over to McKee to Warner again. Brett Warner to center ice. A pass to Barnes, and he's called on the offside.
We'd like to take this opportunity to say hello and extend our get well wishes to all of those in area hospitals. And we'd like to say a special hello and send our get well wishes to Jeff Ronaldo, who's in the burn unit at ECMC. From Buffalo to Boston, no score. The Bruins having to juggle lines because of the absence of Joe Thornton. Pat Burns trying to come up with a combination that will work. He has some 3 pretty good players on the ice here now. Jason Allison at center. He's got Hines on the left wing and Anson Carter on the right. And of course, Pekka is there for Buffalo.
Here as far as center ice, but Hines comes up with it and shovels it into the corner. Shitnick and Allison after it. Shitnick knocked down. Allison goes down as well. Bruins keeping it in. And it deflects and goes to center ice. Ward charging after it. Ward tips it into Boston territory. Shielded off of the play by Ford. Gill sending it up to Carter. Carter! Shitnick took a run at him. Schmeling holding behind the net. Working it across to Pekka, the long pass off Ward's skate. And the Sabres make another change. 3.5 into the third period. Tipped around to the boards and picked up by Buffalo again. Sabres Barnes starting back. Feeding it to Woolley. Woolley will tap one in. Bennett drops it off. Then right in front of the net as Primo broke it up. Here's Rasmussen coming across and taking out DeMaio. Axelson carries on. Axelson into Buffalo territory, getting it back to the point. Kept in by the Bruins and now broken up by Buffalo. And Woolley comes to center ice. Woolley fires it to Rasmussen. Rasmussen turns, trying to keep it in there. That's taken away by Boston. Out for Axelson, off a stick and all the way back into the Buffalo end. Sabres Patrick recovers. James Patrick to center ice. He just feeds it in. Sabres are trying to make a change. Elliott getting it ahead. Knocked back into Buffalo territory. Wilson going after it. He had it taken away. Kept in there. Here's Bates the shot. And Hasek makes the save from point-blank range. Buffalo can't get it out. Bruins keeping it in. Now it's finally chopped down the ice by Brown, who was on his knees. And this is going to result in an icing call against Buffalo as Ledyard beats Sanderson to the puck. Alexei Zhitnik has been everywhere for Buffalo tonight.
One of the things we were determined not to do with the Pathfinder is to follow the current trend of bigger, bigger, bigger to the point where we're making land barges. The Pathfinder has grown, but it's grown in intelligent proportion where the room is needed. Ease of entrance and egress, clearly high command seating. It's a question of looking at it intelligently and designing it to suit a purpose rather than just kind of saying, yeah, we made it bigger.
We've been together for a while, and I've been thinking. I don't know, I'm missing something from our relationship. I think it's just best if we make a clean break.
Expect more from your credit card. With Discover Platinum, you get a low rate and new double cashback bonus awards. It pays to Discover Platinum.
Check, please. Oh, you'll get this right.
Now Dominic Hasek again. Moments ago, a huge save on Sean Bates after Curtis Brown got into trouble trying to carry the puck to the right of the Buffalo net. He turned it over, and Bates with a great scoring opportunity could not beat Hasek. Solid piece of goaltending again, and there was a difficult save that Hasek made look easy. And a face-off here to the right of the Buffalo goaltender. Allison again on the ice to take this draw against Pekka.
In behind the net, here's Zhitnik recovers. Zhitnik sending it high. Barada had it taken away by McLaren. Pekka gets it back to Barada at center ice. Barada for Ward, who will tap it in. Pekka coming up with it. 5 minutes into the third period. Bork swings it ahead. Here's Kristich being checked, but he gets it right back again to Samsonov. Samsonov in over the line, gets squeezed off the play. Zhitnik drills it up ahead to Barada. It hit him in the back of the leg. Still trying to come up with it as he bumps with Gill, but the Bruins. Allison takes it away. Allison flings one into the corner. Zhitnik after it. Zhitnik behind the net. Pushing and shoving with Samsonov. They're still battling in the corner. Zhitnik kicked at it, but Samsonov keeps it in to Allison. Allison check, leaves it there to Kristich. Kristich taken off stride by Pekka. Round of the boards, not out. Bruins keeping it in as they battle in the corner. And finally, the puck ends up going somewhere. It's locked up in the paraphernalia of Allison, apparently. Let's go now to Danny Gare.
Well, thanks, Rick. I'm here with the Commissioner of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman. And Gary, the box next to us, you're with Mr. Jeremy Jacobs, the owner of the Bruins, and now you're with Mr. John Regas, the owner of the Sabres. Have you been following the series that much?
Well, actually, I spent the first period sitting on the railing. I've been going back and forth. This has been a great series. We've had a great first and second round to the playoffs. The other 3 series are locked at 2, and we'll see what happens here.
You know, when you talk about the other series, you're right, locked at 2. This is the only one that are up 3-1. It's got to be great entertainment and great excitement for the National Hockey League and their fans.
3-1, the game's over?
Well, close to, yeah. We're hoping.
But it's been great, and this building's been alive tonight, which is terrific.
Thanks, Gary. It's great to see you in Buffalo.
Good to see you.
There's Juneau with a shot right on, and Defoe will hang on to that one.
That's Buffalo's first shot of the period. Of course, the Bruins only have 2 shots, but Buffalo, I think, would prefer to remain aggressive and continue to forecheck Boston. That has been so successful in this game. Defoe now with 31 shots on goal, 29 saves. Sabres 2, Boston no score. And the face-off here to the right of Byron Defoe. And again, Pat Burns has had to juggle his lines. Joe Thornton injured back in the opening period. Thornton was Boston's best player in Game 3 in this building. And the story tonight, again, the Pekka line doing a marvelous job against Jason Allison and scoring goals and getting chances also.
Tipped in by Woolley. Woolley works it in front of the net. Holzinger, the shot to Defoe, sprawls and makes the save.
Well, another wonderful piece of goaltending by Byron Defoe. We just talked, he's almost like a soccer goaltender. A lot of goaltenders will lead with their skates first, where Defoe, like a soccer goaltender, leads with his arms first and his stick. And boy, that was a great save by Defoe. Not only did he stop the puck, but he forced Holzinger to go wide. I think Brian would have preferred to shoot the puck from directly in front of the net, but he was not able to do that because of the positioning of Defoe.
I think Byron popped a suspender or something. Right. I know the feeling.
Well, not anymore, you don't. I mean, there's nothing left here.
Oh, easy now, easy.
Relatively speaking. Well, you lost a ton of weight.
Well, Byron is back in tip-top shape, apparently, and is ready to go again.
13:46 remaining in regulation time. The goaltenders, Hasek with 16 shots on goal. He stopped all of them, and Defoe now with 32 shots. Alex Zhitnik and Václav Varada scoring the goals for Buffalo. This has been a good line tonight, too, for Buffalo. Holzinger at center, Juneau on the left, and Stu Barnes on the right. And Allison is out there for Boston. Wendy Ruff does not make a change.
Barnes gets away from McLaren. Third in front of the net. Woolley shoots a shot, and that's picked off. Worked out to center for Axelson. Axelson scooping it in over the line. DeMaio charging after it. As you know, trying to pluck a 3. Axelson gets involved as well. It's spun back for Ledyard. Ledyard will chip it back into the corner. That's broken up, and it ends up in the Buffalo bench. When you want the latest news on your Buffalo Sabres, check out Fan TV. Weekdays at 4:30, weeknights at 9:30. Fan TV brings you everything you need to know from the world of sports, right on the Empire Sports Network.
In Buffalo, line now Curtis Brown along with Sanderson and Michael Grosek. Buffalo tonight, the hunters, and the Bruins have been the hunted, and that's what you want.
Bruins keeping it in. Ledyard gets checked and away to center. Sanderson. Sanderson takes the shot off the goal post. Cranking right off the pipe. And it's knocked out of play, and Byron Defoe could only see that one blast by him.
You know, Jeff Sanderson, talking to Lindy Ruff this morning, he said he was very pleased with the way Sanderson played in Game 3, and he rewarded him with all kinds of ice time. What a great play this is as Sanderson broke away from Ledyard. And you talk about hitting the goalpost. You can't hit it any more dead on than Sanderson did. Let's listen.
Oh, that hurt.
Plump. But the great speed and quickness of Jeff Sanderson, that's why he's been able to get so many scoring chances and so many goals through his career. But sort of hit a bit of a wall here with Buffalo.
Howard just grabbed Verada. No penalty called there. Verada coming up with the puck behind the net, trying to get away from Allen. And he does. Verada still with the puck. Backhand knocked down. Pekka coming up with it. Pekka swings it around to Verada. Kemp back behind the net. Got it out in front. Pekka the shot. And it went wide. Warner keeping it in there. Kicking it back in for Verada again. Verada held it all over him. Verada still with the puck, trying to work it to Pekka. It's intercepted to the blue line. Warner keeping it in to Verada. Takes his shot, and Defoe picks that one off and hangs on to it. 12 and a half to go here in the third period. Jeff Sanderson almost makes it 3-0.
What you doing, Frank?
Waiting for him to talk.
It's just a game. Frank.
Some nights I'm in here, and I swear, I can hear him talking.
We all have our demons, Frank. Shh, quiet, you're gonna get us caught.
Charlie? Yeah? You hear something?
No.
Now?
No.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. Ford Country. Look at that truck. Ford Country. Built Ford tough. Ford Country. When the work gets done. Ford Country.
The road to Ford Country starts at your local Ford dealer, so come on in today.
Ready for the face-off in Boston territory. 12 and a half to go here in the third period. A 2-0 Buffalo lead. Pekka and Allison. Pekka wins this one, and a shot by Sanderson hit Gill. Sanderson keeping it in there. Knocks it along the boards again. Grosek hooked it right on. Defoe kicked that away. Allison starts back. Allison through center, rifles one into the corner. Hasek is right to the net to shovel it away from Bates. And it's fed out to center ice. Gill knocking it down, sending it back in again. Hasek will leave it there. Pekka flipping it off the glass by Gill into Boston territory. Is it going to make it that far? Yep, it's going to make it far enough for icing. Make the right decision. Insist on Karuba collision. This comes earlier in the game as Landon Wilson has the puck, and Jay McKee has Landon Wilson.
That was one of the great hits in tonight's game. Of course, it's not unusual that Jay McKee is the guy who delivers it. And just check his statistics here tonight through the first two periods of play. McKee had 6 hits. That is the most on the Buffalo team. Boston desperate for a goal. And I'll tell you one thing, you can't accuse Pat Burns of not playing his best players, because I'll tell you, he has had Jason Allison out there virtually every second shift, and of course that forces Lindy Ruff most of the time to counter with Michael Pekka. Buffalo out hitting the Bruins 29-17 in this game.
Belanger holding it in. He takes a bump from Patrick. Pushed back into the corner. Bates took a shot that hit the side of the net. Belanger going after it. Patrick watching him. Bruins keeping it to Bates, though. Feeding it out in front, and Ledyard fanned on it. Covered by Buffalo. Junot spinning it to center ice. Barnes catching up with it. Barnes with a pass to Holzinger and over the line, and Bork knocked it away just in time. Holzinger kicking at it in the corner, battling with Raymond Bork. Him in front of the net. Ledyard picks it off. Ledyard to Bates. He'll knock it down the ice. Patrick and Belanger chasing after it. They bump in the corner. Taken away by Woolley as Belanger hits the deck. Off the boards, out to center ice, and chipped as far as the neutral zone. Allison coming back. 11 minutes remaining in the third period. Pass up to Ward. Bounce behind him. Brent Ledyard has it again. Down the wing to Kristich. Stolen away by McKee. McKee uses the glass to send it to center. Ledyard brings it right back in again, however. Here's Ledyard's shot. Hasek kicked that away. Rebound went over top of the net. Kristich flipped it there, and Hasek pokes it to Pekka in the corner. Pekka flipping it high in the air. Too far for Ward. McLaren flags it down and rifles one in wide. McKee to Murata. Murata sending it through center and back into Boston territory, and Kyle McLaren skating as if his feet were in cement.
He not only ran out of gas, he blew 2 tires on that one.
And we have no other games in the NHL tonight, but on the Noco Express Shop out-of-town scoreboard, Rochester has a 2-1 lead over Hamilton in game number 5 of their series. Dean Sylvester has scored both Rochester goals in that game. One of them shorthanded.
Now, so far in this third period, Buffalo, I think, has been pretty successful at maintaining their aggression. In other words, forechecking Boston. The Bruins are a little more desperate in terms of scoring goals as they're trying to get something going, but it's difficult for a team, and the Bruins are such a team that thrives on defense, to suddenly turn into an offensive team. And that's what they're going to have to do, though, if they want to get back in this game down 2-0 with 10:26 to go in regulation.
Slipped around behind the net where Schmelik recovers up on the wing and deflected by Grosek through center. Bork working it to Axelson. Axelson dishes one right out of play.
And of course, I was talking too about this in the last game. The Bruins with those 2 great offensive lines, and then they have a checking line of Rob DeMaio, Tim Taylor, and Axelson. They're on the ice now. The problem is they have nobody to check, so really if you had a top scoring line, perhaps you could put them out there against what Burns did in Boston. It was try to match him up against Pekka, and he did that in the opening game, but he wasn't able to do it in game 2. As I mentioned, Lindy Ruff really outmaneuvered him as far as line changing was concerned.
McLaren leading the rush to center. He scoops it ahead. Woolley knocks it down, but can't come up. A delayed offside, which is now called.
Jason Woolley, a big game again tonight for Buffalo, just doing his job, leading from that defense position offensively. Looking at the statistics, Ray Bork every year is among the league leaders in shots on goal. Well, in this series coming into tonight's game, Jason Woolley had 13 shots on goal, and Ray Bork had only 6. And that is highly unusual because Bork always has a ton of shots on goal. And that tells you that Buffalo, of course, is keying on Bork also. And they have done that throughout this series.
McLaren tapping one in around to the board. Sanderson sends it behind the net. Patrick gonna ring it away. McLaren holds it in right in front of the net. Backhand goes wide as DeMaio let it go. Axelson to Taylor. Taylor coming in front. Hasek stayed with the play. Penalty coming up here to Buffalo. Bruins keeping putting the puck in, jammed back in the corner again, and now Boston will head to the power play.
It looks like a high sticking penalty is being called.
Jason
Woolley is going to the box. Boy, it was a wild scramble in front of the Buffalo net. And the Bruins now with a chance on the power play. And one of the stories, too, of tonight's game has been Buffalo's penalty killing. Superb. They have had more scoring chances shorthanded than the Bruins have had when they've been on the power play. And a high-sticking penalty called and a face-off here to the right of Hasek. And Burns, again, desperate for a goal, sends out Allison along with Hines up front. Woolley got a stick up behind the net on Axelson. Vincent Carter also one of the forwards. Bork on one point, McLaren on the other.
9.5 remaining here in the third period. Boston keeping it in, back for Bork. Bork drops it off to Allison, top of the circle. Allison swings it in beside the net. Hines got it in front, but taken away by Pekka, and he will send it down the ice.
That was another smart play by Hasek as he poke-checked the puck away from in front of the net, and Buffalo cleared the zone.
Bork bringing it right back again with the man advantage, sending it to McLaren. McLaren stepping in over the line, knocked it right to Hasek, and Hasek sees Allison coming out of the corner of his eye, so he elects to hang on to it.
And they'll drop it again to the right of Hasek. I mentioned Jason Allison is real good on face-offs. Of course, he uses that he's got long arms and a long stick, and as Michael Pekka said, he loves to take those long sweeps at the puck on the face-offs. Against Carolina, Allison with 6 assists, and he got all his points in this series in the first game. And since then, Dominic Hasek and Michael Pekka and company have shut him down. Holzinger will attempt to win this draw against Allison.
Still a minute and a half remaining in the Woolley penalty. Bruins keeping it in to Bork. Screen shot, fired it wide of the net. McLaren jumps up into the corner. McLaren wheeling it around on the boards. Allison keeping it in there. Got it to Hines. He feeds it across ice. McLaren after it for Boston. Back to Bork. Bork winds up. Doesn't shoot. Now he does. That's knocked down in front of the net and spun off the boards to center. Bork going back after it across to McLaren. Kyle McLaren's backhand is broken up and kicked down the ice by Zhitnik with a minute remaining in the Buffalo penalty. 8.5 to go in the third period. 2-0 Sabres. Bork slams one into the corner. Carter knocked it free, but Zhitnik is there to drill it off the boards and down the ice. Racing after it. Pekka. Here's Pekka. Scores! The captain, Michael Pekka, on a shorthanded effort, hammers it home. The Bruins are arguing about it, but Buffalo has taken a 3-0 lead.
Oh, boy, I thought that puck hit something on the Buffalo bench.
I think it did.
Oh, and the Bruins are arguing. I think they've got an argument. And Zhitnik fired the puck out of the zone. The Buffalo bench, everybody was ducking. Puck was bouncing. Oh, I'd say maybe it hit the glass and then hit the linesman. Buffalo gets a break. The puck goes right to Pekka, and he fires it into the empty side. And this goal will count, of course. There's no review on this. There was no whistle. But I thought the puck hit somebody on the Buffalo bench. But maybe it hit the glass, caromed into the Boston zone, and to the benefit of Pekka and Buffalo, it struck the linesman. And that allowed Pekka to catch up to the loose puck. Buffalo 3, Boston no score with 8:21 to go in regulation.
Still 43 seconds remaining in the Buffalo penalty.
Well, Pat Burns keeps talking about how young his team is, and they're inexperienced, and they're this and they're that, but Buffalo Sabres are every bit as young and inexperienced as Boston. And they're playing like seasoned pros here tonight.
McKee blasted it down the ice. Ray Bork coming back again with a pass up the middle. Wilson kicked it in over the line. It's taken away by Buffalo, but it doesn't matter. It's an offside.
Juneau and Alex Zhitnik draw the assists on Pekka's goal. And that line again, the Pekka line, 2 of the 3 goals tonight. And I thought, too, it was only a matter of time before Buffalo scored shorthanded in this series, particularly tonight, where at times they have dominated offensively when they've been shorthanded. Now, this line tonight, Ward, Pekka, and Verada, they scored 5 of the 11 goals in this series.
McKee will smack it down the ice with 20 seconds remaining in the penalty and 8 minutes to go here in the third period. 3-0 Buffalo. Bruins bring it back again, and over the line, Wilson scoops it into the corner. It's fired out in front, back to Ledyard. Ledyard works it to Bork. Bork along the blue line, sending it back. Precision shot, and that one sails wide of the net. Ledyard keeping it in there. McKee takes it away. Off the boards, down the ice. Buffalo's back at full strength. And this is going to be an icing call against the Sabres as a result. 7.5 to go in the third period. Buffalo has bounced in front 3-0 here in downtown Buffalo.
What do you have, folks?
A large pepperoni pizza.
And a Pepsi, please.
Sure thing, Curly.
Thank you.
We both know I ordered a Pepsi Cola, and now you've insulted me by offering me this. I'd like to give you a chance to make amends. Capiche? Yeah. Here you go.
Good eye.
During Adventure 99, Dodge will give you a great lease deal on a Dodge Ram. Or, if you buy a Dodge Dakota, get your choice of a $1,000 cash allowance. Or, a great vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Now Buffalo, 3, Boston, no score. 7:31 to go here in the third period. This is a game that the Sabres deserve to win. They have outplayed Boston consistently from the opening faceoff on through. 35 shots for Buffalo, 19 for Boston. Solid defensive play, discipline. They've stayed out of the penalty box, haven't hurt themselves with penalties. And they've capitalized on the power play. That was the difference.
Pass up the middle to Brown. Brown through center to the Boston line. Shoveled it in over the line to Juneau. He gets checked by DeMaio. Down for Elliott. Elliott swings it off the boards. Patrick kept it in there, though. Got it into the corner again. Sanderson racing after it. And now there's a fight starting along the boards.
Well, that's Belanger. He just jumps.
It's Taylor. It's Taylor.
Or Taylor jumped James Patrick and started throwing punches. Looks like Patrick is cut in the nose area. And Taylor just attacked him inside the line. You know, the play was a classic example, though, of the Buffalo defensemen. Again, here they are up. They're up 3-0, and you say remain aggressive. Well, that's what Patrick did. He pinched in on the defense. They got in a headlock, and Taylor punched him right in the nose. We had a great look at that on the replay.
Both in the penalty box.
How can you? I don't understand this. They both get 2-minute penalties. I mean, that's ridiculous. I have to assume that the referees didn't see it again. I mean, that's the only thing I can assume. And Patrick kept the puck in, banged into Taylor. Taylor put a headlock on him and punched him right in the nose and tried to land a couple of other ones.
That's obviously a measure of frustration being displayed by Tim Taylor, who is not that type of player ordinarily.
Not ordinarily, no. Well, they'll skate for a side here with 7:10 remaining. Patrick, 2 minutes for roughing. Taylor, 2 minutes for roughing.
Pekka flipping it around behind the Bruin net. Defoe missed it. Sanderson charges into the corner. Got it back in the other direction. Gill comes up with it, feeding it off the boards to Carter. Carter starting away. 7 minutes to go here in period 3. Allison turns back at his own line and leaves it to Bork for Gill. Gill stepping away, hitting the Buffalo line, in over with a shot way wide of the net. Allison going after it. Into Carter in the corner. Taken away by Buffalo, and Sanderson comes out. Sanderson getting around Gill. Sanderson cleared it in front. Trying to get it to Schmelik, who's tied up by Bork. Carter feeding it ahead. Austin coming up with the puck again with Allison turning. Got it in over the line to McLaren. Schmelik takes it back. Schmelik for Ward across to Holzinger. Holzinger to Bruin territory. He busts around the outside. McLaren catches up with him. Now McLaren tumbles to the ice in the corner but recovers to flip it around behind the net with 6 minutes to go in the third period. Sent back into Ledyard. He cleared it right in front of his net. The shot by Warner right on, and Defoe hangs on to that one. And Ledyard and Defoe are going to figure out where they get their signals crossed.
Now Ledyard went to shoot the puck. I think he tried to shoot it behind the net. It hit the stick of Byron Defoe and caromed right back to the Buffalo defenseman, Rhett Warner, who gone to shot into the stomach or into the chest protector of the Boston goaltender. Well, I like the way the Sabres have remained aggressive in this game, and we discussed that before the start of the period. Would they? And they have. Out shooting the Bruins 6-5 here in the third and 36-19 overall.
Barnes wins the draw. McKee with a blast, but it's knocked out, and here are the Bruins. Kristich in over the line with Samsonov. Kristich trying to clear it in front, and Hasek makes the save, and a penalty coming up to Warner.
Now the Bruins a 2-on-1 break. I'll tell you that was a borderline call. You figure that a referee's going to call that, but that was a very smart play by Rhett Warner, as he really didn't hook Kristich, but he just put his stick on him and just distracted him. He had a stick up underneath his arm, and I don't think that should have been a penalty. I thought that was just a real smart play by Warner. And Kristich was so concerned about Warner from behind that distracted him. He lost control of the puck and could never make the play across on the break for Boston. So 4-on-3 here. 37 seconds left in the penalties to Patrick and Taylor. And now Warner's in the box.
Schmelik feeds it around on the board. Shitnik comes up with it on the other side. Can't get it out. Wilson keeping it in there. He'll clear it across ice. And Shitnik is after it again to send it down the ice. And McLaren bigger run at him. Bork bringing it back in again for Boston. Bork stopping to McLaren on the other side. Back it comes to Bork. Bork feeds it into Allison. Allison to Bork. One-timer. Deflected off into the corner. Shitnik got in front of it. Pekka got in front of it, and it's hooked down the ice. Buffalo short-handed as Taylor and Patrick now return to the ice. The Bruins at full strength. Buffalo one-man short. Spun beside the net. Hasek will give it to Schmelik, getting it around the boards. Not out. Bork keeping it in, and now it's tipped away and knocked down the ice, and Brown trying to go after it. Brown gets in over the line and finally gets checked up by McLaren. Holzinger attempting to keep it in. Brown does. Wilson picks it up. Less than a minute to go in the Buffalo penalty. Less than 5 remaining in the third period. In game number 4. Bruins will bring it into Buffalo territory with Hines clearing it in front. Samsonov guns it wide of the net. Brown trying to come up with it. Can't do it. Ledyard keeps it in. Getting it back again off the boards. McLaren keeping it in. McLaren rolling it back into the corner. It's punched ahead for Holzinger. Jumped away from him. McLaren and Holzinger collide. Left for Hines and taken away by McKee. Round but not out. Bruins keeping it in with Ledyard. Over it goes to the other side. McLaren putting it right on, and Hasek will handle that one for a face-off.
Again, superb penalty killing by Buffalo, and that has been one of their keys tonight. When they have taken penalties, either Dominic Hasek was there, but he certainly has been getting great support from those defensive forwards in front of him. Boston 7 shots on goal here in the third, a total of 21, and Buffalo 6 in the third, total of 36. 3-0 with 4:03 to go. Buffalo in the lead. 17 seconds left in the penalty to warning. This series resumes Sunday afternoon at the Fleet Center in Boston, 2 p.m.
Mayo trying to steer Ray Bork around. Came back to Bork. Bork feeds it to the other side. Quick shot. It doesn't get through. And the Sabres will get an opportunity to bring it out again. Back in over the lines. You know, quick shot. And Defoe snares that one and hangs on to it. You know, letting it go.
You take that back to the Buffalo zone. We've talked about the forwards supporting the Buffalo defense, and Juneau did that perfectly in the Buffalo zone, coming back to help. What a difference that has made in this game. And Juneau came down low, ended up helping out the defense, picked up the loose puck and raced down the ice and into the Boston zone. Well, that has been another key to tonight's game. One of the problems Buffalo had in Game 3, as Lindy Ruff addressed, was everyone for 2 periods played as individuals. They weren't playing as a unit. Well, boy, you can't say that tonight. Much of the Boston power play, the Bruins have had 5 shots, and Sabres shorthanded have equal backs.
Whoa, and that one is blasted over top of the net. That was almost 6. Put back into the corner as the Sabres return to full strength. Now worked out to center ice. Axelson starting away. Recovered by Buffalo. Fed up to Barnes. Barnes twists in over the line. Took his shot and gunned it wide of the net. Ledyard takes out Barnes and then goes after him again, and Ledyard will get a penalty here.
Now, Ledyard didn't have to hit Stu Barnes behind the net, and he did, and that's why he will go to the penalty box.
Pat Burns is just shaking his head, realizing his team's in big trouble on this May the 14th.
Your days of pushing me around are through. I got a better offer, and I'm grabbing it. They even offered me a bonus. Can you even say that? Bonus. Bonus. Knock, knock. Who's there? A bonus.
Expect more from your credit card. With Discover Platinum, you get a low rate and new double cashback bonus awards. It pays to discover Platinum.
Hello, bonus. Speaking.
Gotta get yourself a dependable Chevy truck right now.
Gotta get it.
Lease a rugged Chevy S10 pickup now, just $163 a month. No money down, no security deposit.
Gotta get it.
Enjoy the comfort and driving security of this well-equipped Chevy Blazer. Now, just $299 a month.
Gotta get it, gotta get it.
Get a great deal on a Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Get to your local Chevrolet dealer.
Gotta get it.
Gotta get it.
Gotta get it.
Now.
Buffalo Sabres broadcast wardrobe is provided by M. Weil Men's Factory Outlet for the lowest prices and best values.
On the face-off, the Bruins coming up with the puck, jamming it into the corner. Fed around on the board. Shipnick couldn't keep it in. Taylor punches it all the way down the ice, and the Sabres will go back after it again. Boston shorthanded, a little over 3 to go here in the third period. Buffalo leading by that many 3. Drilled around behind the Boston man, kept in by Sanderson. He tried to get it back to the point. Taylor picks it up, and he slides it out at center. Woolley feeds it in the other direction. Sanderson brings it back in again to Holzinger. Holzinger into Barnes in the corner. Barnes gets nailed by Gill. Sanderson's got it again, slipping it back to Woolley. Woolley cleared it right in front, and Defoe kicked it away. Woolley keeping it in there. Woolley on his knees, still keeping it in for Zhitnik. Zhitnik will slide it over to Sanderson. Sanderson looking in front, takes the shot. Defoe kicking it away. Bruins trying to get it out, but Barnes digs it free to keep it in there. All around on the board. Zhitnik for Sanderson to Woolley. Woolley swings it in again. Holzinger turning around. Holzinger down low to Barnes, trying to roll it in front and couldn't get it to Sanderson. And it's rattled down the ice by Boston. Passion holding it behind the net. Jitnik very slowly out of his own end with but 2 minutes remaining on the clock. His long shot fired wide of the net. Bruins can't get it out, but Bork will. He'll feed it back down. 25 seconds remaining in the Ledyard penalty. Patrick bringing the rush away. Up as you know, too far for him. And Boston just feeding it right back down the ice. Hashik to Schmelik. Schmelik leaving it for Patrick. Patrick swings it up on the wings. You know, to the Bruin line and over. Juneau tried to clear it across ice, got it to Ward, around to Brown. He kicked it free. Boston firing it down the ice, and they're back at full strength. But only 1:20 remaining here in the third period. And a face-off coming up. Independent Health, save of the game. Independent Health quality coverage you can depend on, and it's Dominic Hasek who maintains his shutout bid with another great save.
Now, Dominic hasn't been overworking, but as all great goaltenders do, he's made the saves, the difficult stops tonight when the game was a lot closer than it is now, particularly back in the second period. 21 shots, 21 saves. Buffalo with a 3-0 lead here with 1:22 to go in regulation.
Bruins keeping it in. Long shot at the outside of the net. Bates after it in the corner. Wilson comes up with it for the Bruins. Getting it back to Bates again. He's bothered by Primo. They jam in behind the net. McKee gets involved, taken away by Warner. Warner spinning it off the boards and into Boston territory. 1 minute remaining. Buffalo is that far away from taking a 3-1 lead in the series. Cleared in right on Hasek. He'll steer it off into the corner. And play has been called, and I didn't see what happened there.
Paul Cruz on the ice for Buffalo. He hasn't played a whole lot here in the third, but Lindy Ruff is, or I beg your pardon, Cruz is being escorted. I think he got a penalty. I think there's a couple of calls here.
Yeah, Landon Wilson too.
Wilson also. So Wilson and Paul Cruz are done for tonight. Boston have had their problems here at the Marine Midland Arena. 1-7-1 in this building, including one playoff loss. That was in Game 3, so that record could get worse and will probably get worse here with Buffalo firmly in control.
Cruz doesn't want to leave. He's standing in the aisleway down there. He doesn't want to miss the celebration at the end of the game.
Now, this is a well-deserved win tonight. I mean, there's, unlike Game 3, where Buffalo put together only one solid period, tonight it has been 3 solid periods.
Gill keeping it in for the Bruins, wrestling in the corner along with Pekka. Gill comes up with the puck. Pekka hacking away, trying to take it back again. Pekka and Gill still battling in the corner, pushing and shoving. It's pushed around on the boards again. Warner can't get it. Allison keeping it in. Allison now slides it off the boards to Samsonov. Samsonov turning around with a half minute to go. Samsonov gets knocked off the puck and it's shoveled out to center ice. And McKee starts away. McKee in over the line. He couldn't get it in front to Sanderson. Boston stolen away by Sanderson. Sanderson still battling for it back there. 12 seconds remain. Picked up by Samsonov. He'll slide it across ice. A long shot by Allison. Right on. Hasek kicks it away. Rebound. That goes off the glass. The game is over. And the Buffalo Sabres have taken a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series.
And a total team effort tonight in front of Dominic Hasek. No passengers in this game. And Buffalo, from the opening faceoff, went after Boston, and they didn't let up until the game was over. And a well-deserved 3-0 victory here tonight. Pekka, another huge game for Buffalo, scoring the 3rd goal and shutting down Jason Allison for yet another time. And the Bruins, of course, lost Joe Thornton early in the game after Verrata hit him inside the Buffalo blue line. And that was a huge loss for the Boston Bruins.
So these two teams will head on to Boston, and the Bruins now have to win 3 consecutive in order to advance in these Stanley